I'm saying I don't think that. I think you're mistaken some aspects the word contradiction with a difference of opinion. Like I can have an opinion about something and have a different opinion about something else that is similar. It's not a contradiction necessarily, unless, like you said, unless you want to say you are contradicting and you know you are. That's one thing. But if I feel differently about two different things, I can feel like, yeah, I don't feel like guns are the best idea, but I also can feel that people can have guns. Like I don't think people shouldn't have guns. I just think that the way that the accessibility and the way it's written doesn't make sense. But I don't think that
All of
everybody
our
should have guns.
conversations about guns, you 100% said guns are bad and no one should have guns.
I think they're bad, and I don't think nobody should have them in the way that we have them. Not we shouldn't have them, period, but in the way that we're allowed
You
to have them, or the
100%
way that,
said that we shouldn't have guns,
okay.
period.
Once again, that's what I'm saying. Right now, you're trapped in the past, bro. We're talking about right now,
The
and you trapped
past
in
was
what I
like
said then.
4 weeks ago.
Okay, okay. Well, we're talking about right now, and you talking about then.
You
Things
you at
change.
the beginning of the pod you said that, but I don't want to do that.
No, I didn't. I did not say that. But I'm
You're
saying
right.
this.
You
But you're
didn't.
still
I'm
stuck in the
sorry.
past. You're still
Okay, bro.
stuck in. You're still stuck in the
You're right. I'm
past,
stupid.
bro. You still
Can I
stuck.
ask you a
Like you
question?
said
Can
that
I
then,
ask you a real
so that
question?
means it's
Can I
forever.
ask you a real question?
Answer the real question. I'll answer the real question. I mean,
If you have a certain ideology about something, how far in the past
yeah,
are we allowed to bring up to represent your ideology about something?
nigga, never. What
So
you
if you
mean?
say
How far
something
can you
on
go back?
Monday,
Never,
if you
none.
no, look, real talk, and I'm not trying to be funny. If you say something today about an
Yeah,
ideology you have about something,
yeah,
and this time next week you say something that contradicts your ideology about it,
yeah,
because you changed your mind within a week, we can't
yeah.
talk about it and bring it up.
No, we can talk about it, but you can't hold. But talking about one thing and holding somebody to that way of thinking is two different things.
But
So
book
that's what I'm
but
saying.
hold on, time.
No,
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 no, no, no,
let me
no, no, no,
finish.
no, no,
Let
no,
me finish.
no,
Can I
no, no.
finish?
But what? Oh, go
Can I
ahead. Go
finish?
ahead. Go ahead.
But you've held me to something that I've said a couple of weeks ago.
When? How?
What you mean when and how? You've held me. You've brought up something like
Mm-hmm.
you've started a pod saying, "I listened to the pod last week. You said X,
Mm-hmm.
Y, and Z about something."
Okay. Yeah.
And then
And
we talked about it, and
yeah.
I stood on my ideology of what I had the week before. I didn't
Yeah.
switch it up and say, "Oh, well, that was in the past. Let's not talk about it in the past."
That's
I
you.
got a new idea about it.
Okay. Well, slaves are a good thing to have as well. If we're doing that,
I don't
then we
believe in
gonna say
slavery, sir. So
okay. So, but there's a time when
but
people
there
didn't live in
could be
slavery,
someone who believes in slavery and they could think it's a good thing still. I don't know.
and it could change their mind also, right? It's like people can change
It's the
their mind,
difference
bro.
between okay, I'm right. I'm not gonna
See,
argue. I'm
it's
not
no
gonna argue
difference.
semantics.
It's not semantics. What I'm saying is that
If
what
that's
you,
the case, then I can say some bullshit today, and then on Wednesday I can say, you know what, I changed my mind, and I'm allowed to change my mind because I want to have a different ideology today.
you can't do that. You can't change your mind and have different
You can
ideology.
change your mind, but you also have to acknowledge the bullshit you said, though.
What you mean? I was
If I
a
change,
missing part.
if let's say if I was pro murder today,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and I thought about it, and then next Wednesday I changed my ideology about it. I can change my ideology about it. I can change my mind. Let's say I had some growth within the last 7 days, but I
Uh-huh.
also have to acknowledge the bullshit I said 7 days prior to it, though.
I can say with a straight face and without. I can be like, well, I felt this way on that day because of this. I've learned this now, and I don't feel that way anymore. I don't have to go back and say, man, that was bullshit. I'm telling you why I felt that way. I felt this way because of this, and these
I'll tell
things.
you if I felt some way and it was some bullshit. I'll tell you that, you know what, that was some bullshit I was on. That was the wrong thought process I had. I have no issue saying that.
That's what I'm saying. In the finite way you're speaking about saying that this was wrong, this was right, is not indicative of the world. Like certain things change as time goes by. It might be monthly, weekly, daily, yearly, century wise, whatever. But I'm saying you can have a different ideology about something, and it changes completely. That doesn't make you wrong for thinking that way. What this time you had a different set of beliefs, you had a different set of understanding. I understand different now. So the reason why I thought this way then because I had this understanding now. Not that I was wrong, because with the information that I had, that's what I came up with. I have this new information. This information is showing me that that way of thinking wasn't the best way. I didn't have all this information, so this doesn't have to say that. Oh, that was some bullshit. Oh, I was just misled, or I didn't have the right proper perspective. I didn't see it in this light. That don't mean it's bullshit. This mean I had a different.
Do you know how much stuff you've told me is that's bullshit? You're wrong, and then you turn around 2 weeks later and almost say the same shit I was saying.
Nope, I don't think that happens a lot, bro.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
like,
wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I just said I'm wrong. You're right. I literally said you're right. I'm wrong.
Okay, but I'm just saying this is like the 15th time. This is like the 16th time you be like, you know how many times that you do this thing, and that like so really
you do realize you come on here like every other pod. You'll come on here every other pod and say, I listened to the pod and you said X, Y, and Z, and then you try to point out what you're saying I was wrong about.
Well, it's not about you being wrong. It's about the perspective. Well, sometimes it's wrong.
How you gonna tell me my perspective? How you gonna tell me my perspective is wrong?
Because the information that you're placing on the, like, if you tell me, Miss Jackie, if you tell me, man, Miss Jackie, you tell me today, man, I don't like Sauce Walker because he be beating on hoes, right? That's what you tell me. You don't like him because of that. Just hypothetically speaking, and then so you're gonna be strong about that. Now, if you find out in a week time that he don't really beat no hoes, they be lying. You're gonna be like, oh, you ain't gonna say that was some bullshit. He's like, oh, I heard this, but now that I know he didn't do that, I don't put that way no more. That don't make you a hypocrite. That means you have new information, right? So, but now if you tell me, now if I tell you him would beat no hoes, and then I come back the next week and like, man, I told you don't be no hoes. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just saying that you told me the information we had was different. We had different information, and the information I had was valid, and yours wasn't as valid or didn't have the same. That's all I'm saying. You making this.
Now, how many times has that happened though?
A bunch, bro.
What do you mean a bunch?
What you mean? Like, how many times have I, like, when I say, if I come back and say you said this, then obviously I looked into it, bro. I'm like, okay. I looked
100% every time you've come back and said that, it's been because it was an opinion thing.
Okay, well, okay. If we're gonna say 100%, then yeah, you win, because
there's no winner or loser. At the end of the day, it's all opinion based. So I can't tell you your opinion is right or wrong.
An opinion could be wrong as hell, bro.
I can't tell you your opinion is wrong. I honestly can't tell you your opinion is wrong. Like, for example, for the discussion we had earlier today, I can't say that Young James Boogie's opinion was wrong about how we felt about the 2A. I can't tell you your opinion is wrong. I can't tell you have the wrong opinion about how you feel about something.
Why do you feel like you can't? An opinion can be wrong, bro.
But it's your opinion, though.
Tell me.
We're not talking about facts. We're not talking about facts. We're talking about opinions only.
Listen to what I'm saying. The only thing that can't be that can be proven wrong or right. I mean, the only thing that cannot be proven wrong or right is a fact. A fact. If it's a fact, it's solid. I can say, oh, this is. But an opinion can be proven.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
The opinion you had earlier about your thoughts on the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
You didn't state anything was fact. Can we agree to say that?
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's your interpretation of how you feel about the Second Amendment. Okay. I can have a differing opinion, but I can't tell you that how you feel about a subject is wrong, because at the end of the day, it's your opinion and how you interpret it and how you feel. You're not saying any of this is fact. You're simply stating, man, this is how I feel about this subject and this is my opinion of it. So I can't say your opinion is wrong. I can respect your stance of how you feel about it, and I can listen to your idea and how you view it. I can see where you're coming from, and I can say, man, you know what? He got some good points on his argument. I can see why he feels that way, and I can see the positive that could come about some of the points he brings. I can't say your opinion is wrong, because it's not. I can't say you're wrong for how you feel. Okay. I can't.
Then that's when I say, Miss Jackie, all women are stupid. That's my opinion. Does that make sense? Is that factual? Is that true?
But it's your
exactly. But
it's your opinion.
So opinion can be wrong.
So let me ask you a question.
Can be wrong.
Can I ask you a question?
And that opinion I just showed you.
But can I ask you a question?
Wrong.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What if through your years of this experience in Earth, you've dealt with some crazy young ladies, and that's so listen to and exactly that's your personal experience. Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
That's your personal experience, and through your personal experience, you've come up with the idea through your experiences that all women are stupid. I don't agree with it, and I can give you points to where I can say, you know what, it could be the young ladies you meet. You know what I'm saying? You have
Right,
to.
you just put a fact-
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm
You
saying.
told me you saying this. Okay,
Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It could be
Go ahead,
your
speak,
personal
bro.
experience, bro.
That's you just saying. You just said that. You just said that 3-4 times, but you're saying the same
Your
thing. You
personal
can't-
experience is gonna mold your ideas of life. I can't tell you
doesn't
that you're
mean
wrong,
right, bro. Okay,
I
so
can't tell you you're wrong.
Once again, all women are stupid. That's my personal experience. That don't make it true. That don't make that opinion
You're
is
not-
wrong because easily you
That's
can
your
easily
opinion,
say,
bro. I don't
and
know
your
the
opinion
life
could be
you live.
wrong.
I
That
don't.
don't
I don't.
matter.
I don't know your experiences in life. I don't know what you've had to deal with to say all women are stupid.
What
bro.
does that have to do with the price of tea in China, bro? You
I
just
know a
told
lot
me-
of dudes right now who have horrible experiences with their baby mamas
They don't do anything.
and can say some crazy shit about women and baby mamas. It doesn't
that
apply
don't
to every female.
Exactly. So it's not true.
But
So it's wrong.
No, it
So it's not
applies.
true.
It applies to their experience.
It's true for them, but it's not true to everybody. bro.
But
So once again,
they're
it's
not.
true.
They're not painting a broad picture of everybody. They're
That's
telling
what they
you their
said.
experience.
Stop. No, they said all women. See what I'm saying? See how you try to change it? If I say all women are stupid, that's a broad picture of everybody.
Young James Boogie, if I tell you all Chevrolet trucks are the best trucks made on earth,
then that's
Go to
wrong.
my bathroom. Put my
but
records up.
I'm telling you that experience because every Ford truck I've had issues with it. Every Chevrolet truck I've had no issues with it. So I'm giving you my
Your personal
opinion, my
experience.
personal experience, and my opinion based
Okay.
on my personal experience. I'm not saying it's fact, but I'm saying this is my play.
Okay. If it's not fact, then it can prove wrong. It's not okay.
But you can't tell me that I'm wrong for my
Let me
personal
help you.
experience.
Let me say it like this. Let me try to say it like this then to try to make it so that we could be on the same page. What I'm saying is that if I come out with something and say all these people are that, I have to say I can say in my opinion, and anybody can be like, no, you wrong because the person you said was stupid, that person's a Harvard graduate, that person has a doctor, that person is a lawyer. So it's not hard to debunk when you say all of anything.
Two things can be true though.
Okay. Yeah, I'm dumb and I'm a scientist. I'm dumb and I'm a professor. I'm dumb. No, bro.
You got a couple of scientists who can't change a tire.
That make them dumb?
That doesn't make them dumb. No, it
Okay,
doesn't make
so
because
once
I
again,
don't
you-
because I
you
don't
just
I,
proved yourself to be
because I don't paint a broad stroke of saying everybody's dumb. However,
I'm
saying your personal experience. I can't tell you your opinion is wrong. What you just finna say, Miss Jackie?
Okay.
I have to leave this conversation.
Yes, ma'am. It was nice having you on, Miss Jackie.
It was nice being here. Thank you guys for having me on again.
Yes, ma'am.
Your
Yeah,
opinion of
y'all
having
make
us all here is
sure-
wrong. In conclusion about opinions, I think that you're missing. I think there are some of the conversations that we have, not being contentious or anything, but it's just that your perspective of what you're saying is personalized, and I understand what you're saying. Not to me and you, but just saying it's like, well, if this is the way that I feel, then you can't tell me how I should feel or how you can't. And I'm not saying I can tell you how to feel or I should be able to tell you how to feel, but I am saying that we can't live in a world where everybody's feelings are held to an infinite standard, meaning that, okay, well, if he believes that, then we can't question his belief just because it's his personal belief. But we can say, no, just because you believe that don't mean it to be true. That don't mean it to have validity, because we can easily say, oh, no, you say all Germans are stupid or all blacks are bad or all women are slow, and we can easily find a bunch of examples that prove that to be all the way false.
Well, I'm not saying you can't question it. So I'm not saying that. even
I'm
with
saying they can't, but
even with the conversation we're having now, I'm not saying that you don't have validity to your stance. And with that even being said, I'm not saying that your position is wrong. I'm simply saying I'm not going to tell you that your opinion is wrong. If you have an opinion about something, we can talk about it. I can tell you why I have a different opinion. I can even pull up some facts if I can find facts to back my opinion. We can even talk about it if I feel like your opinion is based in ignorance. But I can't tell you your opinion is wrong when you're giving me your opinion based off of your life experiences. Like I have some great
question.
Listen to what I'm saying. I have some listen to what I'm saying, bro. I have some great listen to what I'm saying.
But what you're saying doesn't make sense.
Listen to what I'm saying. It makes sense.
That's what you're saying, but it makes no sense.
It makes
illogical.
Sense. It's not illogical. Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you why it's illogical, bro.
Can you listen to what I'm saying?
But it's illogical, man.
Well, that's the bigger issue.
No, it's illogical, bro. You keep saying it over and over again, and that's illogical. You keep saying the same thing over and over again. That's illogical.
Why is it illogical? Is it illogical because you believe it's illogical?
No, it's illogical because you keep saying that because I experienced it, that makes it true.
No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That is not what I said. That is not what I said.
You keep saying I can't tell you that your opinion.
That's not what I said.
Based on how you lived your life. Or
listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I can't say you're wrong based off of your opinion you have on your life experiences. All I can do is talk to you about why I may feel like it's different. I said if I have facts. So let's prime example. Let's say
you ain't gotta have facts, bro. Because just
how am I gonna take? All right,
you trying to put you just listen. The only thing that makes an opinion.
The only reason why this is even an issue is because your opinion is someone else is wrong from what you think. All I'm saying is I can't tell someone their opinion is wrong. If you believe something is X, if you believe something is X, you believe is X. I can't tell you you're wrong for the way you believe or feel about something. Yes, we can talk about it and we can talk about the subject, and I can tell you my plight, how I feel about it, the experiences I've had. You can tell me your experiences you've had. I can't tell you, nigga, you wrong. You dead wrong, X, Y, and Z, because of how you feel, and that's the only experience you've had. I got great aunts that will tell you that listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen for a change, bro. Just listen to what I'm saying.
Listening the whole time, but
you're not even listening to what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You won't even let me finish. No, you're not, bro. You're not hearing everything I'm saying because you keep talking.
Go ahead, man. You keep using that ploy to say no, bro.
You know what? That's what I'm saying, and that's where the disconnect is, because when we try to have the healthy back and forth rebuttal, if it's not what you want to hear, that's when you start doing this.
That's not true, bro.
Go ahead.
You keep saying the same thing over and over again.
You won't even let you don't know what I'm saying over and over again because you won't let me finish a sentence.
I've heard you. You finished by 10.
You've heard what you wanted to hear, bro, and then you want to give your rebuttal. But go ahead.
That's not true, bro. You keep saying the same thing over again. You keep trying to.
What have I said? Tell me what I'm saying.
You keep trying to explain it to say that a person's personal experience can define their opinion. That's what you're saying.
So time out. What is someone's opinion?
That's their personal.
What is someone's opinion?
That's their personal opinion. I mean,
and what is their personal experience?
Personal experience.
So time out. No. Time out. If you have a personal experience about basketball, yes, and you form an opinion about it,
yes,
who am I to tell you that your opinion is wrong based off of your personal experience if you're not telling me something is fact? If you're time out. Let me finish. Let me finish.
You asked me a question.
Let me finish.
But you asked me a question.
Let me finish.
Okay, go. But
you asked me a question. Go ahead, say what you want to say, bro.
No, you asked me a question.
That's what I'm saying. I had to ask you 3 times to let me finish, and in the 3 times, the 3 times I'm asking you to let me finish, you keep talking. So if you can't learn to listen, and then you let someone give a point, and then you give your point, you're never gonna get past what we're trying to do.
That's
And
not
that's what I
you
keep
said.
trying.
No.
No. It ain't
What
no.
you're saying
That's
is
not.
not
No,
true.
no. Listen to what I'm saying. You can't say something is not true when you're not letting me finish my point.
What you are saying is not true because you're asking me a question and
You're
then
not
telling me to
even
stop.
letting me finish my question, my
Ask
guy.
me- so
if you don't let me finish the question, you won't know what I'm asking.
Go ahead.
But we can't get past it
Go ahead.
because
Go
you
ahead.
keep interrupting and you
No,
keep
'cause you asked
speaking.
me a question. I know
And
how
you're
to say
still
something. No.
speaking when
Go
I'm
ahead.
trying to give
Go
a
ahead,
point.
man. Go ahead, man.
So since
Go
you
ahead.
want to have the floor,
No, go
say
ahead,
what you
man.
want to say.
Go ahead, man. Because you asked me a question, bro, and then you trying to ask me 3 questions at one time. You asked me about the same thing over and over again. And
Tell
you
me the
keep
first
trying-
question I try to ask you.
You asked me if how can I tell you how can I tell you that your opinion is not right because it come off your personal experience. And I'm telling you, that's illogical, bro. I don't care what your personal experience was. What does your personal experience have to do with me? how can you- how can-
The personal experience is my opinion. So if we're talking about a subject, and when we talk about said subject, we're talking from our personal experiences. If you don't hear out my personal experience, then you won't hear out the point that I'm speaking from. So if you can't even hear that, you won't understand where I'm coming from to dissect my personal experience and tell me where my misstep is, or tell me where I can change my thought process, or tell me where I can change said mentality. So if you can't even hear that portion of it, if you can't even hear my personal experience and why I formulated this opinion, then we can't have healthy rebuttal about how we can move to a better place, or put me on the right path if I'm on the wrong path. Like if you can't even be open to hear that, then there is no teaching.
Okay, so what I would say to that is that when you tell me that I have to listen to your personal experience so that you can validate your opinion, I would say that is saying that your opinion has like your opinion doesn't have to have that much merit if you say something that's illogical. Like if you make a blanket statement like saying all women are dumb, or black people can't read, or white people are nosy, or these things, you can say that, well, that's your personal experience, but I can easily, without even having to strain a brain muscle, be like, you ain't never lived in Czechoslovakia, so how you gonna talk about white people? You ain't never lived in places you ain't never met but so many white people. So how
Let me ask you a question.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I got a great aunt.
Okay.
I got a couple of great aunts that's still alive.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Actually, I got a couple of great aunts and a great uncle that's still alive.
Okay.
To put it in perspective, my old man is 70 years old.
Okay.
I got a great aunt that's pushing 90. Matter of fact, I got 2 great aunts that's pushing 90. Mm-hmm. To them, white man don't lie. Whatever the white man says is truth. Whatever black man says is false. Now, without getting into a long discussion of that, of unpacking why they think that, because of how they grew up, you know, they have slogans like "my good white people take care of me," this, that, and the third. My grandma used to say this stuff all the time about the people that she cleaned house for in Maryland. So,
Okay.
without unpacking why they felt that way, they felt that way. If you're having a conversation with someone of this age and that's the mentality they have,
Yeah.
you naturally are going to have a different mentality and a different opinion because you grew up in a different era.
Okay.
If you just dismiss that person and say your opinion is wrong without having a conversation and unpacking it, both parties are going to miss the education that we can have to come to a middle ground. That's why I say
Ain't no middle ground in that joint, bro.
no. It is a middle ground. That's why it is a middle ground, because we both can learn. I can learn from their life experiences because they grew up, or they grew up, or they lived in a different era than I did. They can learn. Listen to what I'm saying. They can learn from my life experiences because I'm growing up in a different era or a different life than they are.
Yeah.
And then we can come to a middle ground, and we both can learn from each other, and we both can change mentalities or grow mentalities or thought processes from both from teachings from both eras. It's the same way with me at 40 pushing 41 with my nephew that's 18 pushing 19. There are things that I dealt with in life that he didn't deal with or he isn't dealing with. It's a different mentality than what he's dealing with now. We have two. We can have a conversation about one thing and have two totally different opinions about it, but we can come to a middle ground once we have a conversation about it. Because he's not wrong for his opinion, because he's had a different life experience than I've had. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna totally off the bat dismiss somebody because they have a different life experience. If you say X and that's your opinion about it, well, I want to hear about it. I want to know why you came to that opinion. I'm gonna tell you why I came to my opinion, and we can come to a middle ground. Isn't that what all conversations and debates are about? Coming to a middle ground for progression. It's not all about I'm right, you wrong. It's not all about saying you wrong for this kind of feeling. I'm right. I can't just totally dismiss your opinion because you've had different life experiences than me. If we've all had the same life experience and plight, then there will be no need for conversation and discussion for middle ground and progression.
See, I think that, and this is where this is the space where we have to be honest about the conversation. So the words that you use are important to me, maybe not to you, and that's not a dig. I'm just being honest. The words that you use. So at no point did I dismiss anybody's. It's not dismissing somebody's history, or it's not listening. But if you say things that are illogical and untrue, like if I said all them jabs, all they do is steal from us, right?
Time out. Let's keep it a buck. But no. Time out.
For like 20 minutes straight, bro.
But let's keep it a buck. We're not saying that. We're not saying all women are dumb. All Japs steal from you. You also have to make sure that when you bring this stuff up, you're talking about stuff that makes sense, real context. We ain't talking. There are some opinions that people have that are bullshit that don't even merit having a conversation with, because you realize what they're saying. It's so wild. It's like, man, I'm not even finna have that conversation because they so far left. We ain't talking about them conversations.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, let's say it's not far left. Let's say that, like, let's take your aunts for instance, and saying that they say the white man blah blah blah. Not getting into the reason why they say it, but when they say that, you can say like, no, it doesn't take a long time, or doesn't take much convincing to say, well, no, this white guy over here tried to lead us to this. This guy, Donald Trump said this. This white guy over here said this. This doesn't take much effort to find examples of how that's not true. That anytime when what you're saying or what you're implying is that because I had a personal experience and that's all I know, that's all I can speak on, which is true. But in the same breath, it doesn't hold true if you're talking to somebody else and they saying, well, no, that opinion is not right. That opinion is not true. That opinion is wrong. It's invalid. It's false. An opinion can be false. Like if you're saying that you ideologically can't say that's your ideology, I can't tell them that. But if somebody can say, nah, man, like this is not invalidating your personal experience. This is just validating the experience of the whole. I can't say that.
But let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What happens when your take on it is different from their take, and they say your take is wrong?
Then if they say my take is wrong, then they have the same right or responsibility that I would have to if I'm gonna say that your point is invalid, I would have to have something concrete to say, well, this is why it's invalid. Like, no, Germans ain't this because of that, because of this, because of that. White people ain't so and so.
I'm pretty sure someone who grew up in the 40s and 50s can have a take about a situation that they grew up in.
Yeah.
And then you talk to somebody who grew up in the 90s and in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Have a different take about it. Both sides, no. Both sides have facts they can stand on to say your opinion is wrong, my opinion is right.
No,
so
they don't.
If that's the case, yes, they do, bro. They do.
They don't, bro.
No, they really do, because they grew up in
two
two different times.
So what you're saying is because they grew up in the 40s and that's what was true then, that means it's true now?
No. What
Then
I'm
if it's not
saying
true no
is,
more- it's
what
not
I'm
true no
saying
more
is,
then.
what I'm saying is, their experience is different, and all
it's
they
not
can
true
do.
no more.
Time out. All they can do is go by the experiences that they've had. There are things
No.
that no. Listen, there are things that are true to us because of our experiences that which we grew up in that are not true to the 19-year-olds now, and that's fact.
Well, listen what I'm saying.
So you can have a conversation.
what are you trying to say?
Listen to what I'm saying is you can have a conversation with a 19, 20-year-old now.
And they say what?
Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm
You
trying
can
to give you an example.
if you listen,
Okay,
you'll
yeah.
hear. You can have a conversation with a 19, 20-year-old now.
Yeah.
And let's say if they have a two-way conversation, they can have a difference of opinion of us, you know what I'm saying, that we have than they have. And
Why?
they can bring fact because of what they grew up in. And they can have facts to support it. And so they can say one thing about it, we can say something else about it. It doesn't mean either one of us are wrong. It just means that we both have different opinions about it because of the times that we grew up in.
That don't
And the
make
key
sense.
thing, it does make sense because the key thing is the middle ground. It's to find a middle ground about the topic that you're in. I can't say you're wrong and I'm right and vice versa. I can't.
That doesn't make
because I don't,
sense.
it makes perfect sense because I don't live your plight.
That don't make sense. No, that don't
Our
make sense.
conversation right now is period is an example of I can't say your opinion is wrong, and you can't say
No.
I'm wrong. We
What
have
you're
to
saying
find a
doesn't
middle
make
ground.
sense, bro.
It makes
But what-
perfect sense, bro. I can't
Okay, watch
tell
the-
you through your life experiences that you are wrong.
listen
I
to what I'm
can't,
saying.
bro. I
Listen
can't
to what I'm
tell you
saying.
you're wrong.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You just said that because I grew up in the 80s and they grew up in the 2000s that I can't that they have different things going on.
They had
The
different
world
experiences.
Oh,
bro.
hold
The
on,
world
hold on.
is
Let me-
different
no.
from them.
Exactly. So what the world is now is not what it was then.
But
So
that
if I-
doesn't
hold
mean
on,
that.
let
But
me
that
finish.
doesn't mean.
Let me
But that
finish.
doesn't mean your
Let me
life
finish.
experience is
Let me
invalid though.
finish.
But
Let
that
me
doesn't.
finish.
Tom, well,
Let
let
me
me ask you one
finish.
question.
Let
Does
me
that mean?
finish.
Does that mean your?
Let me
Does that
finish.
mean your life experience is invalid? Yes
I
or
never
no?
said that. I
I'm
never said
asking
that.
you. Does that make your life experience invalid?
No,
All
it's
right.
not.
Then. No, go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm saying is now because the world has changed, because things are different from 1970 or 1980 or 1990 that there are in 2010, 2020. The opinion of what happened in 1980 is no longer valid in 2020 because this is brand that this. What am I applying that opinion to? You gonna listen to what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it one time. You can't apply thinking from 1990 that is valid then, and things change, and now it's 2022, and you're saying, "Oh yeah, well 1990 is why I went through, so this is how I feel." As valid, I understand that, but it's 2022 now, bro. Things are different. That opinion is not wrong. It's not true
The
no
things
more.
that we went through in the 90s, we lived through those experiences. And as we've grown into 2022, we've brought those experiences with us. We've applied them to things that we've seen going on right now in 2022. And because of that experience that we've had from those times to this time, we have an opinion about something.
But your opinion could be wrong, bro.
My opinion about something is based on my life experiences. It can differ from someone else's.
but it can be like I'm gonna say it again.
I'm not
In
telling.
ni- in 1950,
I'm not gonna
in 19
tell. I'm not gonna tell someone.
In
that-
1950.
I'm not gonna tell someone that their opinion is wrong.
In
We can talk
1950,
about. We
in
can
1950,
talk
I'm giving you
about.
15 different examples how
We
that
can
doesn't make
talk
sense.
about. We can talk about
But
how our
you
opinions
talk about how
differ.
you feel.
You're talking
But
about
I'm-
how you feel, though.
No,
don't
you're
have
talking about
fact
how
to
you
back-
feel.
You don't
I
have,
just told you.
don't
I just
have-
showed
you
you
don't
right-
have fact to back any of this.
Okay, the fact is,
Matter of
hold on,
fact,
I'm
your
telling
take
you,
on this
in
right now,
1950
your take on this right now is your personal opinion.
No, bro, you sound illogical, bro. In 1950,
Your opinion
you sound
that I
illogical,
sound
bro.
illogical.
No,
is
it's
your
not. That's a
personal
fact.
opinion.
That's a fact.
So
that you're
tell
sounding
me
positive.
give me
It's a
something
fact.
give me something
Factually-
give me
factually
something
speaking.
factually that my opinion is wrong.
Factually speaking, in 1922, factually speaking, it was the opinion that a man could not fly to the moon was a strong opinion. And so because I grew up in 1922 when there was an opinion that you couldn't fly to space, now in 1975 or 1979 when a man's gone to the moon, is that opinion 1924 still valid?
So
yes or no?
I think you're missing.
Yes or no?
Things.
Yes or no?
I think you're
yes
missing.
or no?
Things.
Yes or no?
Can I answer your question now?
Is that opinion still valid? Yes or no?
It's not. But can I ask you a
Okay,
question
so
now?
once again, the opinion was wrong.
But can I answer your question now? So
Go
I think
ahead.
you left out the fact that I said, if I'm using your example, in 1922, my opinion was what? You can't fly to space, right?
Yeah,
And then 1970, I see a man fly to space, right?
yeah.
So in 1985, when I'm talking to someone about my opinion about space travel, I've had time from 1920, where I said, you can't fly to space. 1975, I've seen a man go to space. In 1980, I have an opinion based on that whole life experience of when I thought a man couldn't fly to space. Now I've seen a man fly to space, and I have an opinion formulated in 1980 about space travel. I can't tell the person who's born in 1973 he's wrong about his space travel opinion.
How not? What you mean? If
I can't tell him I'm wrong because I have an opinion over. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I can't tell him I'm wrong because I have an opinion based on my life experience. So whatever my opinion is based up until then, it's not wrong. It's just my opinion of what I've seen. I've seen a lot of things between 1920 and 1980 if I've lived that long. And I'm just giving you my opinion on my life experience. I can't tell you you're wrong. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Because I would hope by 1980 something, my opinion is different from you can't go to space because now I've seen somebody go to space. So now I might have an opinion of, damn, I seen somebody go to space. My nigga, we can go to Mars. You might be a younger person that's telling me, well, we can't go to Mars because mathematically it's not feasible. And then I can say, well, shit. No, listen. And I can say, well, shit. I thought that in 1920, and then they sent a nigga to the moon. So they might be able to send somebody to Mars. Like, you can have the scientific facts.
Not an opinion, though.
That is an opinion, bro.
The opinion,
100% is an opinion.
Listen, you just said the reason why you can't go to Mars because it's mathematical.
No, you didn't hear what I said. I said someone could have the opinion because they believe it's not mathematically possible to go to Mars. But I'm telling you in 1920, my opinion was it wasn't mathematically possible to go to the moon, and they went to the moon.
Well, I'm saying,
and all I'm saying is it's an opinion. I can't say someone is wrong. We got to be able to find a middle ground when people have difference of opinions. I can't say you're wrong and I'm right. It is a middle ground. There's a middle ground in everything, bro.
No, it's not. Bro.
It is, bro. It's a middle ground in everything, and and you know what? That's really the biggest issue with our society is that people feel like we can't have a middle ground because no one is ever going to agree with each other 100%. Everyone, just the nature of being a human, you're going to have differences of opinion. So there's nothing wrong with having the difference of opinion. It's when you can't find a middle ground, that's the problem. Because if you can't find a middle ground, you can't find solutions to problems and you can't progress.
Okay, so how did the United States get the land in Texas? How did Texas become part of the United States? What was the middle ground the Mexicans took that the Mexican nation took?
Oh no, they didn't they nail Santa Ana nuts to the ground? They stole that shit.
Okay, why is Russia invaded Ukraine? What's the middle ground where they couldn't talk it out and just not? Where's the middle ground?
There was middle ground. There was peace treaties, but he decided to break them. There was not
a middle ground.
No. There were peace treaties, and he decided to break them. When the Berlin Wall dropped and the Soviet Union broke up, there was middle ground. People had their own land. It wasn't this dictatorship that they had going on. There were peace treaties put in place. Putin decided to void said peace treaties. He decided not to be a part of said NATO and other stuff and do what the fuck he wants to do.
Why?
Because that's what he wanted to do. He wants to conquer shit. He wants to do his own thing. The fact of Putin, the whole way Putin got in power was on some snake shit. He didn't do that shit the right way. So you can't even throw someone in there who has from day one been doing nefarious shit.
So what I'm saying is, so What's the what's the?
But that's
ground?
not what we're talking about. We're talking
the middle
about
ground?
we're talking
What's the
about
middle
no. We're talking about differences of people and opinions, and we're not talking about differences of regimes trying to capture land and put their flag everywhere in the world. Those are two different conversations, boo.
But what I'm saying is one of the reasons why Putin.
That's not what we're talking about. No. That's not. We're talking about a difference of opinions. We're not talking about Putin.
You be saying
We're not. No, because when you start doing this, we're talking about.
What am I talking about? What am I going to say?
Listen to what I'm saying.
What I'm going to say?
Listen to what I'm saying.
All right, listen to what you're saying.
We're talking about differences of opinions. We're not talking about political shit with Russia
We're not
invading
talking about
Ukraine.
Politics.
All right,
I'm talking about.
We'll talk about Putin. Go ahead.
I'm not talking about Putin. I'm talking about the position that Putin has had is that there are Russians that believe in the Ukraine, that they believe their opinion is that they should be part of Russia. That's their opinion, that they should be part of Russia. Whether that's 100% true or 10% true, that opinion that they should be part of Russia has influenced Putin and some of them to say, hey, they want to be a part of this, and they getting mistreated in Ukraine. We going and getting that land so them people can be Russians.
So it's not the people of Russia who think that. It's Putin and his administration who think that, and it's a land grab. And if you look at the propaganda from the Russian media, that's what they have been saying. There is no evidence of genocide in the Ukraine. So you have Putin and his administration saying there's genocide going in. That's going to be my excuse for invasion. You have no evidence of Ukraine having mass genocide. Ukraine is a part of NATO. They have no evidence of mass genocide going on in Ukraine. Matter of fact, there is media propaganda within Russia that is saying this bullshit about genocide going on in Ukraine. The mass majority of the Russian citizens are not behind this shit that's going on. That is a different conversation than what we're talking about when we talk about difference of opinion.
We're talking about what I'm saying is that, so what you're saying that even in what you said just now, you said the mass amount of Russians, right? So what you're saying that there's no Russians of the opinion that we should go in there and take Ukraine back. There's
I don't know. It could be. I don't live in Russia.
It could be. Oh, but I'm saying
I just said it could be. I don't live in Russia. But even with that being said, if there are a number of Russians who feel like Ukraine should be a part of the Soviet Union again, we should put the Soviet Union back together. Mm-hmm. And let's say if there are some people in the Ukraine who don't feel like that, maybe there should be a meeting where we sit down and we figure out, hey, what are the benefits of being a part of the Soviet Union? Maybe the Soviet Union needs to rise again. These are the benefits we could have. And you find a middle ground, opposed to one person going into another person's land and bombing unarmed citizens until they take away the land. That's a different conversation.
No.
That's a different conversation opposed to just two regular people having differences of opinion.
I'm gonna say this: if you think that two people, regular people, how you put it, having a disagreement or having a conversation that says, I think your opinion is wrong, and or whatever, however you want to put it, isn't the antithesis of every dispute, whether it be the district lines of District FJ in Houston, or whether it be the Mexicans losing whether it be the Louisiana Purchase, whether it be Ukraine, whether it be slavery in the 1700s, like these all started with people saying like, well, I feel this way. My opinion is this, that dumb people over there, they half a man. My opinion is that they aren't half a man. Well, the middle ground is not going to be, well, we're going to treat them like 2/3 of a man.
Well, I thought we were talking about evolution as well, though. So every day in the workplace, I deal with difference of opinions, and we find a middle ground about where we can meet in the middle, find a solution, and progress for the betterment of the company.
Because y'all have an overall objective to make money.
Yeah, we have an overall objective. So with that being said, these extreme conversations that you're talking about have to evolve. That's the biggest issue we have today in our politics. The fact that you have two sides that can't come together for the betterment of the people. You have Republicans who do X, Y, and Z just because it fits their Republican agenda, and they don't want to reach across the aisle to deal with the Democrats, and it's vice versa with both sides. That's the biggest issue we have, that there's no middle ground.
I don't know if that's the biggest issue we have, but
That's the biggest issue. That's one of the biggest issues we have, bro. You have one regime that comes in and they spend 2 years undoing the previous regime. And then the next 2 years, they're trying to implement their own processes or their own ideology. And then if another regime comes in, they spend the next 2 years reversing the same bullshit that they put in. Like there's no middle ground. Like you can't progress without middle ground. That's the basis of two sides coming together for the betterment of the masses.
what I'm saying is the compromise. And so this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it like this. The answer to that question, or the answer to or the picture you're painting, is in only a certain type of society. Because if you're talking about a capitalistic society or a communist society or any different, the different factors that influence how and what is the motivation of the greater good. Because if I'm Russian,
but now we're moving to another conversation.
No, we're not. Let me finish.
Well, we are moving to another
No, we're not.
conversation.
No, we're
Yes,
not.
we
Let me
are.
finish. You cut me off, but keep going. Like I'm saying, what I'm saying is, you're saying that you just literally said, "Well, I work at the company, and we try to find a middle ground because your objective is in a capitalist society is, hey, we gotta do what we gotta do to make the bottom line money because we're capitalists trying to get money. Now, if I'm in Russia and I'm a communist, our bottom line isn't making money because whether I'm the doctor, the lawyer, the teacher, the so and so, we have pay rates that are set. So if I'm in a different type of society, the motivation is different. So once again, the experience of the individual in a small scale, saying that I grew up on a farm and I ain't never seen black people that can swim. And that's my experience. So black people in my opinion, black people aren't good swimmers because I ain't never seen none. The two I do seen, they couldn't swim well because I grew up in it. That's my personal experience. But now when I go to a Houston and I see we have black swim teams, then my opinion was wrong.
So what happens when I go to Houston as this farmer from Iowa that's never seen black people that know how to swim?
Yeah.
And I go to Houston or a big city and I see a plethora of black people that know how to swim. And I'm being asked about forming a swim team. And now I see that I can have white people and black people on my swim team that can swim. Isn't the middle ground me realizing that, hey, these black people can swim just as good as us? So, yeah, let's have this. So let's have this team with both white and black people on it because now I see that these black people can swim. Isn't that middle ground?
Yeah, you see, I see my opinion was wrong. Yeah,
my opinion wasn't wrong. I've just seen that there's. I have more information because my opinion is wrong. My opinion is I ain't never seen a black man that can swim until I went to Houston, and now I see a black man that can swim.
My point for
now my opinion would be wrong if I say I've never seen a black man that can swim. I go to Houston. I see 20 black men that can swim just as fast as the 20 white boys from Iowa that can swim. And then I still keep the opinion that black people can't swim. Then you can tell me my opinion is wrong because, sir, you sat there and watched these 20 black people outswim the white people. Then you can say my opinion is wrong.
Okay. Doug Williams wins the Super Bowl. Warren Moon's forced to go to what you call it. How long has the opinion that blacks can't be quality quarterbacks in NBA and NFL been around?
It's been around for a while, and they moved the goalposts.
Has there been successes beyond a shadow of a doubt that black people could be great quarterbacks?
Yeah, but some of that was systemic and racist.
I'm asking you a question.
I said yes, but if you listen, if you used your ears, I said yes.
Yeah, exactly. So the opinion that this thing is this way,
but you're not hearing what I'm saying. So your opinion is wrong if you've seen several examples of black men that can be great quarterbacks in the NFL, and you still hold the opinion that I ain't never seen a black man that can't be. But if you started out with the opinion through your life experiences that black men can't be successful black quarterbacks, and then you see the Warren Moons, you see the Randall Cunninghams, you see the Steve McNairs, you see the Vince Youngs, you see the Michael Vicks, you see the Lamar Jacksons, you see the Doug Williams, I don't have to go on. And then I see that, and then I don't change my opinion. Then you can say, my guy, you're wrong, because I know you've been a GM in the NFL for 25 years and you've seen all these successful black people come through.
So you're saying, okay, so what I'm saying is.
And that goes back to my original. No, listen. That goes back to, listen to what I'm saying. That goes back to my original statement that I said. It's the life experience. I'm not saying you're wrong. Okay, I'm illogical, bro, and we're gonna have to find a middle ground. So
you literally just said, you saying, okay, so I'm an NFL quarterback, I'm an NFL GM. I see a black quarterback win the Super Bowl, but I gotta wait 25 more years to see.
That's not what I said. That is not what I said, JB.
You have to say that.
That is not what I said. That is not what I said.
Listen,
that is not what I said.
Listen to what I'm saying. You ain't have to say that because you agreed that the stigmatism that it couldn't be black quarterbacks went deep into the 90s, right? So we had a Super Bowl winning quarterback in the 80s. So how was that opinion? We have a fact that opinion, we know that opinion was still carried throughout all these years. We saw black quarterbacks get to the point where one of the best quarterbacks of all time was forced to go to Canada to play because they didn't want him to play quarterback. How many wide receivers were quarterbacks in the college that had charted the Heisman Trophy winner?
How many black quarterbacks were successful?
Heisman Trophy winner.
Time out. How many black quarterbacks were successful in the NFL before Warren Moon?
Easily 20.
Name them.
Doug Williams. What's the guy in New Orleans? It's been 20. I mean, it's hard for me now off the top of my head because I was born in 70, bro. So
it hasn't been 20. Now, once Warren Moon and Randall Cunningham got in the league, that started the era of them noticing that black quarterbacks were better or could play quarterback. They could compete with the white guys. Doug Williams came in, and yes, he did win a Super Bowl, and they noticed that there. And then Warren Moon
That's 10 years
listen
before
to
Warren
what
Moon.
I'm saying. Warren Moon had to go to the Canadian Football League because he wouldn't get drafted. It's not because they didn't notice the talent. It was because they didn't want a black person playing quarterback. It was systemic. And you know that. Once Warren Moon and the Randall Cunninghams of the world broke into the league and did what they did, it opened up the floodgates. They couldn't deny the talent.
So,
hell, even Steve McNair being drafted as a quarterback, a black quarterback in the NFL, through the same organization that drafted Warren Moon, that showed that they were progressive in drafting these black quarterbacks to play in the NFL. He was at the forefront of it as well. And then they still tried to move the goalposts. They tried to say, well, we weren't intelligent enough. The talent was there, but we weren't intelligent enough. And then they said you had to get a certain score on the Wonderlic. Stuff like that. So even that is a different conversation. But what I said was, the person who's been a GM for 20 years, you can't tell me now that you feel X, Y, and Z about black quarterbacks because you've had nothing but this experience, this time lapse to see black quarterbacks are just as successful as white quarterbacks. So if in 2022 you tell me, white GM, that black quarterbacks aren't successful in the NFL, I call bullshit. But if you listen to what I said, if I'm talking to you about your evolution of your opinion, I can't tell you you're wrong. Because you can tell me, man, when I first started out in this league, man, I didn't think black quarterbacks were valuable. And as I've been a GM and I've seen black quarterbacks come in and I've changed my mindset and I've broadened my horizon, I see that they are valuable. So I think we're kind of arguing semantics.
Nah, man, we're not even arguing, bro, because you
I get it. You're right, I'm wrong.
No. I see what I'm saying. We're not arguing because at some point, you literally are jumping from A to Z and ignoring.
I'm not ignoring anything.
Because you literally.
So what am I ignoring? What am I ignoring? Tell me what I'm ignoring.
We literally said right here, like, look, in 1980 something, We had a black quarterback that won the Super Bowl, bro. We won the Super Bowl, right? After that, 10 years after that, Warren Moon has to go to play in Canada because they turned him in. And in between that, we've had dozens of quarterbacks. The Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback went to play basketball because they wouldn't play him at the quarterback position in the NFL.
Who is this?
Charlie Ward.
How tall is Charlie Ward?
How tall is Doug Flutie?
Okay. Charlie Ward could have played in the NFL.
How tall? Once again,
Doug Flutie had the same challenges Charlie Ward had. How do you know that Charlie Ward didn't feel like he would have had a better career hooping than he did playing football?
Once again, did Doug Flutie win the Heisman Trophy?
No.
So, I'm not gonna paint that.
Well, time out. Just because you win a Heisman Trophy, does that mean that you're automatically going to be a
NFL quarterback?
Yeah.
Can you name how many Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks didn't even make the NFL? It's probably a short.
Did Charlie Ward not make it to the NFL because he chose to play basketball, or because he had issues getting to the NFL just talent wise? And you tell me, how did Charlie Ward win the Heisman Trophy? Was he a pure passer? Was it other intangibles that Charlie Ward did? Charlie Ward and Warrick Dunn damn near the same size. Tell me how tall Warrick Dunn is.
No, bro, they're like 5'10".
Tell me how tall Charlie Ward is.
Like 6 foot.
Okay, I'm 6 foot.
Okay.
Have you ever experienced trying to play quarterback at 6 foot with NFL caliber linemen?
So
how tall are your NFL caliber linemen?
Doug Flutie played in quarterback.
Tell me how. Tell me how.
Steve Young. Steve Young is 6 foot tall.
Tell me, where did Doug Flutie go play first?
Steve Young.
Tell me, where did Doug Flutie go play first?
He played in Canada.
Why did Doug Flutie go play in Canada first?
Because there was a stigmatism about he ran the ball and he was too small.
All right. Tell me how Michael Vick had to pass the ball.
They made lanes for him.
Tell me how Steve Young had to pass the ball.
They made lanes for him.
So tell me, if Charlie Ward was if Charlie Ward was a 5-star recruit, basketball, football, and he chose to play basketball, tell me how that's systemic.
So you're telling me that Charlie Ward didn't win the Heisman Trophy, and we haven't seen a bunch of Heisman Trophy winners in the last 10 years who were less talented than Charlie Ward go to the NFL and get starting jobs?
Did he go to the NBA because he couldn't play in the NFL, or did he go to the NBA because he chose to?
See what I'm saying?
No. It got to be. No.
What you do
Time out. I ain't changing no narrative, because, to be honest with you, you changed the conversation 4 times. My question to you is, now that we're here on Charlie Ward, tell me, why did he play in the NBA? Did he play in the NBA because he couldn't play in the NFL, or did he play in the NBA because he chose to go play NBA basketball?
He played in the NBA because the NFL would not pick him up. That's why.
So he didn't get drafted. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
You're telling me Charlie Ward didn't get drafted?
Yeah, he got drafted, but people get drafted in 2 leagues all the time. What are you talking about?
So explain to me why he went and played basketball instead of football.
Because there was a stigmatism about black quarterbacks. They said they had questions about XYZ and how it wouldn't translate to the pro game. That's why.
Did they have questions about his size and game not translating, or because he was black?
Both.
So because he was black, not because of his size and his size and game.
Bro, but I'm telling you, I can name short white players that got the same look.
Name them.
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel made it three years, and even when he came into the league, it was questions about it. And the only reason why, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. No, I'm not making time out. I'm not making a difference for the white guy. If you read the scouting report, Johnny Manziel, they didn't think his game was going to translate to the NFL anyway. Johnny Manziel, listen to what I'm saying. Johnny Manziel didn't have an outlet to go play anywhere else. Same thing with Russell Wilson. Almost the same height. The difference is his game translated to the NFL. He had certain intangibles that Johnny Manziel didn't have. Same thing with Michael Vick. He had certain intangibles that Johnny Manziel didn't have. Hell, Michael Vick and Russell Wilson had certain intangibles that Charlie Ward didn't have. But Charlie Ward decided to go to the NBA, not the NFL. Russell Wilson could have decided to go to the MLB. Same thing with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray has a whole set of intangibles that Johnny Manziel didn't have. Kyler Murray could have went and played baseball. He chose not to.
Yeah. Marlon Briscoe, James Harris, Joe Gillum, James Harris, J.J. Jones, Parnell Dickinson, James Harris, Dave Mays, Vince Evans.
Now, are you rattling names off, or do we know their games? Do we have stats?
Let me finish, because you're trying to debunk what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to debunk anything. All I'm saying is
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you.
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you what they are. These are black quarterbacks that were starting quarterbacks. This is 68, 69, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 77, 79, right? 79. There was another starting quarterback until 1984. That's Warren Moon with the whatchamacallit. So you telling me that I got Super Bowl winning, I got all types of quarterback. This is just the starters.
Let's not paint the picture like I'm saying the black people shouldn't have had a shot. I started off my conversation with the shit was systemic. I started that off. And I also said the conversation that we've evolved to is not what we were talking about at first.
No, when I'm okay.
So let that be known as well. Don't make it seem like I'm just saying that because you'll throw it out there. Oh, you got an excuse for the white man. That is not what I said. I started. No, don't be facetious. I started the conversation saying that the shit was systemic, and we know that. And it's also a different conversation when we talk about difference of opinion that we're talking about now. When you start throwing in the systemic shit and things of that nature.
1920.
We already know that if it wasn't for Bud Adams saying I don't give a fuck about race, this black dude, this Warren Moon who should have been drafted from the get go, I'm finna sign him to the fucking Houston Oilers. If it wasn't for that shit wouldn't have changed when it changed. He opened up the doors for the modern black quarterback. Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham. So say I'm tripping. Am I tripping? Am I telling a lie?
In 78, bro.
I asked, am I telling a lie? Yes or no?
Doug Williams got drafted in 78.
I understand when he got drafted. You tell me how many
Super Bowl.
You tell me how many GMs were drafting black quarterbacks as the face of their franchise before Bud Adams, outside of Doug Williams.
Once again, Vince Evans got drafted in 77.
And what was the gap? Tell me the gap you just gave me. Didn't you tell me it was a 10-year gap?
It was a 5-year gap between those. But what I'm saying is, it's also 20 more quarterbacks that since the 20s, bro. Since the 1920s, Fritz Pollard, Joe Lillard, George Telefrino, Willie Thrower, Charlie Brackens, Sandy Stevens.
I think you're missing what I was saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. We have you're talking about the idealism that black people couldn't play quarterback.
I never said that.
The opinion that blacks couldn't play quarterback was pushed throughout always to the 90s.
You didn't hear what I said. I said it was systemic. That's a different conversation than what we're talking about. We're talking about two people who have a different opinion and they're growing opinions and finding the middle ground. What you're talking about, what you're talking about is a systemic issue that is still going on in the NFL, by the way. Just in different spots. We're talking about a systemic issue. So these are two different conversations.
How does a systemic issue start?
We're talking about two different conversations. We're talking about an idea. We're talking about someone and ideas. We're not talking about two people with difference of opinions. We're talking about people and the ideas. We're talking about racism. We're talking about systemic racism. We're talking about shit like that. We're not talking about two regular people and different ideas.
So you're saying that the systemic racism how does that starts with an idea? Right?
Let's make sure we keep talking about what we were talking about. And it's two people. It's two people with. I'm not trying to change it. You're changing it. We're talking about two people with difference of opinions. We're not talking about systemic racism. If you want to talk about systemic racism, we can have that conversation. That is a different conversation between two people with difference of opinions.
So how does any any systemic thing start? Does it start that we
We're
decide
3 hours and 30 minutes in. If we're going to
Okay,
talk
yeah.
about,
Oh,
if we're,
yeah,
if
yeah,
we're
no,
no.
See
If
what
we're
I'm
gonna,
saying? Go
we're
ahead.
3 hours and 30
Whatever,
minutes
bro.
in.
Whatever,
If we're
bro.
gonna talk about systemic racism,
Whatever,
then
man.
we will
Whatever,
have a
bro.
power for systemic racism.
Nice try, man. Whatever, man.
It ain't no nice try. I mean,
yeah.
we're 3 hours and 30 minutes in.
Yeah,
We
I
start
know.
talking about.
It's gonna be
if
every
we
time it
start
comes to
talking-
the core. You not every time I try to come to the core, you want to change it.
That's not the
Every
core.
time I get to
No,
the core.
no. That's not the core. I don't
That
have
is
an
the
issue.
core.
No, I don't have an
That is
issue
the
with
core.
talking about systemic racism.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. But
So what are we talking about? So what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
What we're talking about is you're acting like a systemic issue. Just where does it come from?
Look, I get that.
I asked you a question. Where does it come from?
A systemic issue is going to come from someone's uneducated, ignorant opinion of something. But
Or they're educated. They can have an educated opinion
but
about
we're
something.
not talking about systemic racism right now.
That's not true what you just said right now.
Systemic racism is a different conversation. We're just talking about
You're not hearing me.
basic
You're not hearing
differences of
You're
opinions.
not hearing me. You're not hearing me.
No,
You're not hearing me.
you
You're not
have
hearing me.
you
You're
have
not
no
hearing
no.
me.
This is what you've done.
You right? No, you don't hear me. I'm asking you a question. You're answering the question how you want to answer it, but I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you what systemic trait. I didn't ask you the roots of systemic racism. I asked you where does it start? It starts with somebody's idealism. It starts with somebody's opinion. My ideal. It doesn't come from. It ain't because I'm ignorant. It's because this is what I feel. This is what I believe. Once again, if I'm a white person, never seen black people, I'm like, oh, they can't do this. Let's make these laws so that because they can't do it no way. Or if I'm whatever, if I'm a straight person and I ain't never seen gays, man, they can't get married.
Well, let me ask you a question.
This is all idealism.
Bet. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If that's all they know and that's their life experience, who am I to tell them they're wrong from their life experience? All I can do, all I can do is educate them and find middle ground. Can we not do that? Isn't that how we progress from the civil rights movement times?
No.
So how did we progress? We didn't find the middle ground?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm asking you, did we find middle ground?
No, we did not, bro.
So what did we do? What happened?
Not.
What happened?
That's what I'm saying.
So
Once
tell me what
again,
happened. Tell me what happened.
That's right. You didn't ask me the same question 3 times in a row.
But have you answered it one time in a row?
I'm asking you right now because every
You
time
ain't answered it one time in a
Tell
row.
me what happened. Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. Okay, I'm telling you what happened. What happened with the civil rights movement is that we asked for.
Stop.
That what you talking about, right?
I asked, did we find middle ground? I didn't
No, we
ask
did
you.
not.
Okay, then.
No, we did not.
So fine. Bet. That's all you had to say. We didn't find middle ground. Cool. We progressed past that question. What's next?
Why'd you ask? Why'd you ask the question?
I asked. The question was, did we find middle ground? You said
No.
we did not find middle ground. Cool. We've progressed past that question. There was no middle ground found. What's next?
So once again, if there's no middle ground found, then,
So if there's no middle ground found, then I can say your opinion is wrong.
say what?
If there's no middle ground found, I can say your opinion is wrong.
No, I'm saying that a middle ground being found doesn't justify the conversation. Some conversations is not gonna be like if you're saying my opinion is that black people shouldn't be XYZ. There's no middle ground to that. If your opinion is that somebody should be disincluded or not allowed or not be able to do something, whether it be any spectrum of the rainbow, then
My opinion is Russia shouldn't be able to invade any country.
And that opinion could be wrong because you could like, man, look, Russia is the reason why they could have a reason why we made this country. They just got like, how about let's not put Russia in this. Let's talk about
no, let's put Russia in it. My opinion is Russia should be
no Russia like that. So
no. My opinion is Russia should be able to invade who they want to.
And you said it's your opinion.
That's my opinion.
And so there's no middle ground on that, bro.
Why not?
Because the answer is an astounding no for anybody.
My opinion is Russia should be able to invade who they want to over there because they were forced to dissolve the old Soviet Union as we know it. And I, as the supreme Russian leader, want to establish the Soviet Union back to its glory. Why am I wrong?
Are you to answer that question? One would have to be familiar with why the Soviet Union dissolved, how it was formed, what was the ideology behind the Soviet Union. That's
so bet the old South how it was. My ancestors were prospering through free slave labor for cotton to make these Roswell ray gun shirts. I want to implement slave labor again. That's my opinion.
Okay, and so I can say that's your opinion. That's what you want.
That's my opinion. Your
opinion is that that we should have slaves still?
My opinion is my family prospered through slave labor. I want it back. That's my opinion.
Okay, I'm gonna say it like you said it. My opinion is that my family prospered through slave labor, so I want it back. I have opinion of what? That I want slaves back?
My opinion is my family prospered through slave labor to make these pick cotton to make these Roswell ray gun shirts profitable.
Not an opinion.
I want that. My opinion is we should have free slave labor back for
Okay,
those
sure.
that can afford it. That's my opinion.
Your opinion is that we should have free slave labor back for people that can afford it, and so there's no middle ground to that.
Give me your opinion of it. I just told you my opinion of free slave labor. Tell me why I shouldn't have that opinion.
I'm saying
Because I'm assuming, and
okay,
I'm
you asked me a
assuming.
question.
No,
You
listen.
asked me a question.
Can I finish?
You asked me
Book?
no,
Book.
but you asked me a question.
Let me finish.
No, you asked me a question.
Can I finish?
You asked me a question.
Can I finish? My opinion is that you have a difference of opinion. Is that correct?
My opinion.
I'm sorry, it's not my opinion. My question is, you would have a difference of opinion. Is that correct?
Yes.
Cool. Give me your difference of opinion.
And so, like I was going to say, as you have been saying for the last however long, I'm not being funny. I'm just saying it's been a while. We've been saying this, that there's a middle ground to be found, but there's no middle. Hold on, there's no middle ground to be found.
I'm not asking you the middle ground. I'm asking you your opinion in that scenario.
But I'm saying my opinion in that scenario is gonna go back to what we were saying at first.
I would like to hear your opinion in the scenario.
Once again, I'm gonna answer how I want to answer, not how you telling me to answer.
We're role playing.
I know, but I'm gonna answer the way that I want to answer, not the way you're telling me to answer. So
we're role playing.
Once again,
we're role playing.
I'm gonna
give
answer
me your opinion.
Yeah, but I'm going to answer the way
I started with a role play.
Yeah, but I'm going to answer the way I want to answer, not the way you want me to answer.
Bet.
So once again, like I said, there's no middle ground in that conversation, because if you have an opinion that puts me in a position where I have to be subservient to you, who is going to co-sign to an opinion? What forward-thinking person, what person who wants to prosper or do well or do anything that is going to agree to an opinion?
Cool, bet. I agree 100% with everything you just.
No middle ground.
Time out. I agree 100% with everything you just said. Now, in our role play scenario, tell me why my opinion is wrong.
Your opinion is wrong because there's no opinion there's no opinion you can come up with that's gonna make me subservient to you.
So I'm a politician. You're a politician. My stance was that. Now we are in a political setting where we're having an intelligent conversation. All right,
it's not intelligent. It's not intelligent.
It is intelligent.
It can't be.
Listen to what I'm saying, because I'm trying
But
to.
it can't be. You're talking illogical.
I'm giving you my ideology of why I feel like we should have some sort of slave labor back.
But you don't hear what I'm saying. Once you start talking illogical, there's no we're not talking intelligent no more. Once you start saying illogical things, like you say, oh, my opinion is that someone should be subservient, then I don't have to. We're not having an intelligent conversation no more, because now you're telling me about something that's illogical.
So, Bet, let me ask you a question. What do you think the invasion that Russia has just did is saying?
To who?
To the people they just invaded.
That we're gonna come. I mean, it depends on who you ask.
Oh, whoa! Now it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, because the people in Russia might be like, yeah, we come to give us all the yards.
So the people that's on my so the people that are backing me, they 100% feel what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is, if you're someone on the other side of the aisle and we're debating this, tell me why my ideology is wrong.
I'm telling you, I just gave you 17 reasons why I said your ideology is wrong, because if your ideology is putting me in a position where I don't have a say-so, where I'm subservient, not because of anything besides of the way you feel, you telling me because of your experience or what you've gone through or what you feel, oh, my family did this and I feel this. No, you can't control my life with your feelings, bro. You can't control the way I operate based on the way this is how crazy it sounds, bro. You telling me that I have to agree or I have to find a middle ground with you because you have an experience that had nothing to do with me. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
100%. I agree with you. It is crazy.
That's what you're saying.
No, I agree with you. It's crazy, but I'm saying, how would you explain middle ground to somebody like that?
Bro, why do I have to find a middle ground with you because you feel a certain way?
And that goes to what I was saying with Russia. He feels I'm going to invade because I want your land. Fuck your people. Fuck what y'all got going on. I don't give a shit. I want this land. I'm gonna take it by force. You're gonna be subservient to me.
Okay.
How do you explain middle ground to somebody like that? Because
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
This is a real.
It's none.
Well, it
There
was
is none.
no. It is middle ground because all right. I'll play devil's advocate. If it was me and I'm answering the question I asked you, I say, well, you know what, sir? It's 2022. We don't do slavery. A, that's a human rights issue. You can't enslave people anymore. X, Y, and Z. If you want to make sure that you are cropping cotton for whatever, you have to pay the people for their work. There is no slavery. You can't do that. And we'll find a middle ground. The middle ground.
Oh, no.
The middle ground is you pay
saying.
people for their labor.
So you saying literally what you're gonna say is, I know the way you feel that because of your experience, your experience, how you grew up and what you believe, but that was then and this is now, and you can't do that no more.
Because you might not be aware of today's work.
So what you're saying is that but because the way it works today, like you said, like I said earlier, today trumps what happened yesterday. I don't care what your experience was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 minutes ago. What's going on right now is what's going on now is paramount. So you can't tell me, well, my experience, this is so no, your experience is not invalid, but your opinion is, because that's from then. It's now.
No, his opinion ain't invalid. But I'm gonna tell him why it's not gonna work.
It's invalid, bro. If you literally said that we can't do that no more in this day, then that means your opinion is invalid.
I'm telling them why we can't do it.
Your experience.
I'm telling them why we can't do it. I'm not telling them, look, if you want to have the opinion that you want to enslave people, you can have that opinion all day. You can't do it.
So, okay, once again, so what you're saying is a person can say whatever they want to say, they just can't do it.
But you can say whatever you want to say. I'm not here to tell people how to react. I'm not here to tell people how to think. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Everything you say has consequences.
What you mean? Exactly. So you feel like, every hate speech law is illegal.
I didn't say that.
Okay, so if you can say what you want to say, then why is there even a hate speech law?
No, you can say what you want to say, but you also have to make sure that there are consequences with your actions and your comments from time to time. We saw that with old girl who got sued by Cardi B. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say, but there are consequences from time to time with things you say.
So
you can say it.
Oh,
you can say it.
So you can say it, but if I say it, you're gonna punish me. But if I say it, you're gonna punish me.
You can get on your platform, and this is a different conversation, but we'll go here.
No, it's not.
It is a different conversation. You can get
consequences.
Time out.
Talking crazy.
You can get on your platform, and you can slander the fuck out of James Harden. You can say whatever you want to say about James Harden. Yes or no?
At this point, you're just talking, man, because you really.
I'm not just talking. No. Time out. You can say whatever, bro. All right. You got it.
Because if you saying that,
I'm not just talking, but you got it though.
Yes, you are, bro. Because if you literally saying you can say what you want to say, but if I say it, I'm gonna get punished.
But
I can say what I want to, but if you do, you get punished.
Can you or can you not say whatever the fuck you want to say about James Harden?
No, bro.
Why not?
No, because I can't be slanderous, man.
But can't you say whatever you want to say?
No.
Why not?
Because I will get fined. It'll be called slanderous.
So did you listen to what I said? My words were, you can say whatever you want to say, or you can do whatever you want to do. But there are certain consequences with things you say and do. That's all I said.
But you're speaking illogical again, bro. You're saying
I'm speaking illogical?
Yes, bro. You're saying this is what you're literally saying. You can do whatever you want to, but if you do it, you'll be punished.
I didn't say if you do it. I just said the consequences.
Yes, you do. It's consequences is the punishment, bro.
It's consequences for everything, bro. So let me ask you a real question.
You're talking to be talking, man.
I'm talking to be talking? At this point, I'm talking to be talking.
You gotta be, man.
So you mean to tell me that there are things that you do that don't have certain consequences?
Bruh, like as I said again, at
I'm
this point, you're talking. Because every action has a reaction, bro.
All right then, bro. So that's all I said. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. No, you really can.
No, you can't.
No, you really can. Okay. You can say whatever you want to say.
Okay.
But you also have to be, if you say something that requires a certain action or a certain consequence. It ain't got to be breaking the law. You can say something about somebody and you're going to get a certain reaction from that person. That's a consequence from something you said. You can say or do whatever the fuck you want to do, but there are consequences and reactions to everything you say and do.
That's not even true, and that's not even true.
How is that not true? How is that not true?
If I'm in China, I can't say certain things about the government.
We're not in China, sir. We're in America. We're talking about America. I'm not talking about China.
If I'm in America, I can't. Like I said, in America, I can't say certain. If I say it, I'm going to jail. I can't.
Then I just say you can say whatever you want to. There's just consequences you have to deal with from certain things.
That's illogical speaking.
It's not illogical speaking, bro.
Yes, it is. So what logical person logically thinks I'm gonna do this thing so that I can go and be punished? What logical person?
Are you abreast?
Answer the question.
Are you abreast?
Answer the question.
A lot of people. There are a lot of people.
No logical person says I want to go get arrested. That's what I want to do.
Let me ask you a question.
That's not logical.
Let me ask you a question.
Why would they have a prison if people want to go to prison?
There are some people who act like they want to go to prison.
Once you act like you said, you can't even respond to it logically without being logical.
What are you talking about?
Just like you said, there's people who act like, not people that want to go, people who act like, because it's illogical to want to go to prison, bro.
There's some people out there who definitely do shit that they know they can go to prison for and they still do it.
Once again,
so if you know you can go to prison for it and you still do it, you logically know if I break said law, I can go to prison, but I'm breaking the law anyway, right?
So you said
right? No. It's right. I'm asking you a question.
That's very different.
How is that very different?
Because you're saying that I'm taking a chance.
Time out. Are you up to speed with the young lady that Cardi B sued for slander?
Yes.
All right.
Somewhat.
So she has a whole platform where all she does is slander celebrities. Yeah. She made up some shit. She had a conscious decision to not make up shit about celebrities. To the point where before she even got sued, she got she got contacted by Cardi and said, "Hey, you know this is not true. I know this is not true. Take the shit down." She refused to take the shit down. She made a conscious decision not to take the shit down.
Stop.
Why are you telling me to stop?
Because you're playing.
I'm playing what?
You're saying, oh well, she did, but well, you know why she did it, bro. She did it for money. So it's something.
Listen to what I'm saying. We're talking about logical and illogical, right? She made a conscious decision not to take the shit down, and now she got sued for more money than she makes.
But her logic was thinking that her logical decision was like, well, I'm making this much money.
That ain't logical, bro. That ain't logical at all. It's not. Because at the end of the day, she got sued for way more money than she make. So now, no matter what she do, whatever money she make, going to Cardi. Because she can't even pay the shit.
First off, if you think that if that's gonna hold up in the Court of Appeals, bro, that's one thing. So there, and it's also secondly, do you think that she?
Have you been keeping up with the case?
Yeah, it's in appeals right now.
But have you been keeping up with the case though?
Vaguely, but it's in appeals right now.
It's so vaguely. So you do realize that everything that she said about this young lady was a bold-faced lie. You know that, right?
Okay, but
she straight up lied, bro, and she got sued for defamation, and there were receipts that she straight up lied about this young lady, and she lost the case, and she's appealing because she's appealing for some of the fees. At the end of the day, when her appeal goes through, she's going to owe Cardi B millions. It might be some small millions. It might be 2 million, 3 million.
It probably won't be that much.
All right. Well,
probably won't be that much. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, her motivation for doing that wasn't.
It's not about. It doesn't matter about her motivation. She had a choice. No, it don't, bro. It don't. We're not talking about motivation. What we were talking about was you can say whatever you want to say, regardless of coincidence. She just did. She said what she wanted to say, and then she has to deal with the consequences. She got to deal with the consequences.
Once again.
But that's all I've been saying.
Saying that the sun come up every day is not making a point, bro, because the sun gonna come up.
Saying the sun come up every day is a point, because if the sun come up every day and I stand in front of the sun for the 10 hours is up, I can get skin cancer. So if I choose to just stand in front of the sun for 8 hours a day, unprotected, the consequences is I can get skin cancer.
Yeah, man. So like I said.
Yes or no?
Like I said.
Yes or no?
A logical
yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is yes or no?
Logical statement.
Yes or no?
bro. I'm not.
Yes or no?
It's your illogical.
Is yes or no? Is yes or no?
At this point, you just.
I can choose to smoke cigarettes for every day of my adult life. The consequence of me smoking cigarettes for every day of my adult life is I can get lung cancer and die. Now the logical choice would be don't smoke cigarettes. No. The logical choice. No. You've been switching up the whole conversation for the past hour.
You have.
No, I have not, bro. And that's why.
Talking about consequences. You said you literally in your brain. You literally out of your mouth said that if you do A, then B is going to happen, and B is a consequence that is jail, death, a fight, whatever, that it's going to be negative consequences. And then you backdoored and said, well, people just make decisions. Like, no, bro. Logical people.
You can't even finish the thought that I said. And that's the problem. And see, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Stop that.
No. You can't
even
try to
pull that rabbit out your hat.
He's
trying to pull rabbit out your hat, try to save face with what you said.
Right,
you said,
you got it.
We record this, bro. We record this.
I'm not
go back and listen to it.
I'm not doing this.
Go back and listen to it and see how you literally said, "Oh yeah, the past don't matter."
That's not what I said. That is not what I said. I've never said the past don't matter, bro. I've never said the past don't matter.
You said, "Well, that's their experience." So they experience.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm like, no, it don't matter. Your experience don't matter. If you had 12 girlfriends in the past, that got nothing to do with your wife, man. Nothing.
It does have. It does.
Your past,
it does.
It does. That 12 girlfriends does not affect the way your wife sees you, because
it doesn't affect the way my wife sees me, but it does affect the way I treat my wife, though.
Yeah, but exactly. But
because it's my experience. It's not my wife's experience.
Exactly.
It's my experience. So the 12 young ladies that I've had before my wife. It helps mold and formulate the way I treat my wife. So yes, my wife is affected by my 12 previous relationships.
What I'm saying is, just like you said, it's your personal experience.
But that's all I said about my opinion, bro. That goes back to the opinion thing,
bro. Your personal opinion don't affect me, bro. You can't because
so in your words, you can't tell me I'm wrong, bro. It's my personal opinion.
But you're trying to tell me that your personal experience can validate your opinion. It doesn't validate it to anybody but you. That's it.
That's what I've been fucking saying all night.
So I can tell you wrong because you could be dead wrong.
You can't tell me I'm wrong, bro. It's my personal opinion. It's my personal experience. You can tell me I'm wrong. I can tell you I'm not wrong, bro. I can't tell you you're wrong with your personal experience.
Your personal experience is only valid to you.
And that's why you can't tell me I'm wrong. You can't tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. That's
you can have a difference of opinion, but you can't tell me I'm wrong. Just like I can't tell you you're wrong. I can't tell you you're wrong on this stance. Matter of fact, my whole position for the last hour and a half has been I can't tell James Boogie he's wrong for his opinion.
Can the opinion be wrong? Yes or no? To you, I'm just asking for you personally.
Me personally, if I'm listening to somebody else,
can anybody's opinion be wrong?
Anybody.
To me, yeah.
When someone is telling me their opinion and I want to dissect it to myself. I can feel like it's some bullshit. Wrong? Yeah, I can feel like it's some bullshit. But I'm not going to tell you that your opinion is wrong.
I didn't ask you. I asked you, can the opinion be wrong? I ain't talking about I'm talking about period. Can somebody's opinion on something be wrong?
To me, yes, it can be.
Can somebody have an opinion about something and they tell you this is my opinion about this and they tell you why, and everything they tell you why, they don't add up. Man, black people can't do this because of this, that, and other. And everything they say is their personal experience, but it's not indicative of anything but their personal life.
Yeah, so it won't make sense to me because it ain't my personal life. So for me, as I'm dissecting it, yeah, it sounds like some bullshit to me. But what I'm telling you is, I'm not gonna tell him, hey man, your opinion is wrong. I'm gonna listen to what you're saying, and I'm gonna tell you why I think your opinion is wrong, and I'm gonna try to meet you at a middle ground.
But ain't no middle ground to everything, bro. And
that's cool. And that's cool. And the truth is, with everyone you speak to and everyone you talk to and you have debates with, you're not gonna find middle ground with everyone. And so that's when you as a person, me as a person, I say, you know what? I already know. I ain't finna get no middle ground with this dude because he has X, Y, and Z mindset. So if we can't listen to what I'm saying. Listen.
I heard what you said,
bro. You're not letting me finish, bro. I'm in mid sentence. I have not said the same thing 27 times, bro. And see, bro, what I'm saying is I have not said the same thing 27 times. But when you
literally
take
talk back behind yourself and agree with what you was against, literally, bro. Like literally.
I've never changed my position, bro. Even when
okay.
you try to make me change my position, I've never
not trying
changed
to
my
make you do
position.
nothing, bro.
No, it
I'm
is
just-
because you've just asked me a line of questioning to try to make me change my position.
No, I'm just
when
showing
I
you how
already
what
told you
you're saying
it
is
ain't. You're not
ridiculous, bro.
showing me anything that's ridiculous. I've already told
It's
you.
ridiculous, man.
If you listen,
literally
if you
said-
listen to what I've been saying for the past hour and a half, I've been saying I'm not gonna tell you your opinion through your life experiences is wrong. We can talk about our difference of opinions and find a middle ground. That's what I've always said for the entire night. Now you can say some shit to me, and I can feel like it's utter bullshit. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I'm gonna say, you know what? I don't agree with your opinion. This is why, and try to find middle ground. If I'm talking to someone where I know I'm never gonna find middle ground with, I'm not even gonna advance the conversation. I'm gonna be like, hey, you got it, bro. And then I'm gonna let you roll.
That's kind of cap, bro.
It ain't cap, bro. It's 100% the truth. It's what I've been telling you. It's what I've been telling you over pods. I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not arguing with someone. If your opinion is different from mine, and I know that you have a different mindset and there's no middle ground, hey, you got it, fam. Because I'm not going to sit here and try to build with someone who's not going to be open-minded and not trying to find middle ground with. It's pointless to even have the conversation with that person. I can think that your opinion is bullshit. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'll tell you why I differ, and we can roll. And we can have a productive conversation, or we can't. And if we can't, I'm going to roll.
That's kind of cap, bro.
It ain't cap at all. It's not cap at all.
There's so many opinions that without even trying to be facetious or trying to just pull nothing out the back of there's so many opinions that somebody can come up with that you can be like that there's no middle ground on to begin with.
And so I don't even have to, bro. If that's the case, I ain't even got to sit there and argue with them about it. Hey, you got it, and move around.
But what I'm saying is, we can talk about 27 different historically famous people who had a difference of opinion and decided to take that difference of opinion to start wars or to start or
You're right.
So what I'm saying is that difference of opinion and going unchecked and letting it fester is just as important, even more important than finding the middle ground, bro. Because if your opinion is like we should eradicate these people, what's the middle ground? Then how can we can't talk about this no more?
All of these people you talked about, they probably had that opinion if we should eradicate these people. Probably had people that was rolling with them on said opinion about they should eradicate these people.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And so what I'm saying is, in that room, I'm pretty sure there was someone with a difference of opinion, but they might have been outvoted. We wasn't sitting in the room. We don't know.
Once again, like I said,
time out. When the colonizers went to Africa and they said, hey man, we finna enslave some people. We know for a fact that they didn't go hit the shores of Africa and go into the land and just straight up steal people. They had to have cooperation from Africans. So that means that there were some Africans who sat down and came up and said, hey, you know what? We're gonna give them X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
So that there had to be a conversation there. I'm pretty sure that there was a difference of opinions, but someone got outvoted or someone just didn't get listened to. All I'm saying is, I'm not going to tell you your opinion's wrong. Personally, I'm not speaking for anyone else. I'm not even saying that my ideology or thought process is correct. All I'm saying is that if I know I can't meet a middle ground with someone, I'm not even going to have a conversation. It's pointless because it's going to fall on deaf ears, and we're not going to progress. We're always going to be at odds. We're not going to find anything that's going to progress the conversation. We're not going to find middle ground, and we're not going to handle the situation and move forward and progress.
So what you would do? What would you do if somebody at your job was racist?
Oh, I've already dealt with it.
So at that point, do you get them fired? And why would you not get them fired if you know they're racist? What would make you say no? They can still work here, or they should still work here?
So how I have to tiptoe around this because there are people from my job who listen to this pod. But in a workplace setting, if there are some racist things that are going on that are offending me personally, whether if it's racist, whether if it's sexist, any of that, I follow the proper channels, because at this point, it's not a difference of opinion. It is someone in the workplace treating someone else in the workplace in an unethical way.
Okay.
And from there, you deal with your human resources department and you file a report. And it's up to the human resources department to do an investigation and said whatever the issue is. It's not me and somebody else coming to a middle ground on their opinion about race or sexuality or anything like that. At that point, I report it to who can handle it. Now, if I'm a human resources person, I have a conversation with both parties and I figure out what's going on. And then if I have a person that's being racist or being sexist and they're violating people's human rights within the company, within our standards, I deal with it as such. Whether if it's write-up, whether if it's suspension, whether if it's termination. To me, that's a different conversation than difference of opinion.
Well, I mean,
A difference of opinion in the workplace is we both got to fill this Crown Royal bottle up. You have an opinion to do it one way. I have an opinion to do it another way. We both could have good opinions on both sides. We meet at a middle ground. The middle ground could even be me realizing that your way to get the job done is more efficient than my way of getting the job done. So I have to be open-minded enough to see that and say, you know what? Your way is better. Let's roll with your way. It's more efficient, more cost-effective, more time-effective, and then we get the job done. That's meeting in the middle ground. The ignorant way of dealing with it is saying, well, yeah, fuck your opinion. Your opinion wrong, my opinion right. And not being open-minded enough to even try to meet a middle ground to maybe see the flaw in my opinion or you seeing the flaw in your opinion.
yeah, but I don't think that we're not trying to, put a connotation of what's more ignorant or like, and that's what I keep saying about. I mean, and I'm not.
It's a difference of opinion. That's all it is.
What I'm saying is this: I'm not saying that that this way is like what you're saying is very corporate, and I understand about the job or whatever, but even outside of the workplace, what you're saying is that the goal is to come to a middle ground. But what I'm saying is that in certain situations, like you kind of double talk yourself, because in one instance you're like, well, we got to learn from each other. We have to educate each other, right? That's what you said, right? That both parties can learn from each other, correct?
Yeah.
So we can both learn from each other. You have to know, like I have to teach you that there's no middle ground. If I just ignore and be like, you don't see, or if I don't let you know, like, nah, man, there's no middle ground with this, man. We can't beat up homosexuals for no reason. No, we can't be this way. Like there's certain things, there's no middle ground. And at what point does the person who
that is the middle ground. The middle ground is me telling you, hey, my nigga, you can't beat up people simply because they have a different sexual preference than you. You can't do that.
For you, it's the middle ground, but I'm saying, you think that's the middle ground for that person?
Oh, that person? Yeah, it is. It should be. You should know, because now I'm educating you that you can't do that. Like, you can't do it.
Okay, and I agree with you. And so what I'm saying is that when you talk to people like that, or if we're in that situation,
and again, that's an extreme. But go ahead.
I mean, but it could be there are microaggressions that happen a lot, where it's like, you know what, you can't do that. And it doesn't have to be as extreme as all blacks, or it could be, you can't tell that type of joke, you can't make that type of reference, you can't do this, whatever. And when you get to that point, or when that happens, you're like, no, like it's my opinion that Obama blah 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 blah. I'm like, man, your opinion is wrong, bro.
But I'm saying that's where you're missing it. That's the middle ground. Like, if the middle ground is, hey, bro, you're a funny guy, you can tell all the jokes you want, You just can't tell race-related jokes or sexuality-related jokes. You can't joke about homosexuality. You can't do that. You can tell all the dad jokes you want, but you can't tell jokes about homosexuality. You can't tell race-based jokes. That's the middle ground. Tell all the jokes you want, my guy. You just can't tell those type of jokes. And if they can't understand that, all right, well, we don't have a middle ground.
And I got off base for what I'm saying, and you got not you, but I got off base. But what I'm saying is the opinion base and the difference of opinion wouldn't be the difference opinion. Well, why can't I tell? This is a joke. This is a joke. Why can't I tell jokes?
You can't tell race. You can't tell race-based jokes. That would be my rebuttal, and then I would tell them why you can't tell the joke in the workplace. Look, you can tell the joke all you want to at home. You can tell the joke all you want to around your friends. At a home setting away from work, but when we're in work, you can't tell these jokes. If you tell these jokes, this is going to be the consequences to said jokes. That's the middle ground. Tell all the jokes you want. Tell your dad jokes. Tell your farmer jokes. Tell those jokes, but don't tell race-related jokes. Don't tell sexuality-related jokes. That's the middle ground. If you can't see that middle ground, then that's on you.
It comes right back to, like I said, that there are restrictions, there are parameters, there are right and wrong ways that you do things, like opinion based. Like there are some opinions that, let's say I have an opinion that I think all black people are stupid. I can't just come out to work and say that my opinion will be wrong. Even if I believe it to my heart, it's wrong because I can't even say that. I can't even say that out loud because it's wrong. Even if it's not wrong that I believe that, even that's my experience, it's wrong because it's other people who would have a difference of opinion based on fact or based on evidence. Evidential, they have this evidence that's not true. So that's why I'm saying, like, you know, I get you, but I'm just saying, like, there's like, I don't know.
A great example of this, and I don't know how much of this I'm even putting on the pod. We have 4 hours and 11 minutes. But a great example of this is your Cosby take. And I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
You weren't wrong about the take when you said, if you're going to persecute Cosby, why are you not persecuting these other guys? All right. Okay. You weren't wrong. You weren't wrong about it. You weren't wrong. But the young lady who responded and the young ladies who responded with her, they weren't wrong. They weren't wrong either. They had a difference of opinion. They're speaking of an opinion from young ladies who have had to deal with rape culture, young ladies who have had to deal with men in power who they feel like have used sex to control the narrative or control certain things. So that's why you got the response that you got. Now, instead of, you know, people telling you the SMD and all this other shit and fuck you in the ass and all that shit they were saying, there should have been, huh?
I didn't get all that.
No, someone 100% said SMD. Well, they said the lady version of SMD.
I missed all that.
No, she 100% said if you didn't like your opinion.
Well, I didn't answer it. I didn't answer none of that. So.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you. It looked like you ducked all the smoke.
Oh no, I got blocked, so I didn't catch none of that.
Oh, you got blocked?
Yeah. So
yeah, they 100% told you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
To me, the lady version of SMD. But what I'm saying is, I'm using that as saying, in that scenario, I 100% believe they can't say that your opinion was wrong, and you can't say that their opinion was wrong.
But I didn't. Okay.
The middle ground would be
the difference is.
Time out. Okay. The middle ground would be you acknowledging, you know what? I can understand why y'all feel a way about male predators, and all I'm saying is let's keep the same energy for those white counterparts who've done the same thing, equal or worse. Mm-hmm. And bring awareness to that, because some of the young ladies might not have known about the white counterparts that you were bringing up. And once you bring awareness to those white counterparts that you're bringing up, they might look and see like, oh, well, shit, they've done something just
So,
as egregious, and we should point that out as well. And then you can see where they were coming from. Well, damn, some of these young ladies have dealt with predators like this in their lifetime. I can understand why they're so passionate about it. So moving forward, you're going to acknowledge the predators that I spoke of, and I will acknowledge the predatorial activities that some of these men have done.
Like I said, what it is, and I understand what you're saying, but all I'm saying is that it goes back to you feeling like because I had a personal issue or I have a personal experience, then that in turn has to coincide with somebody else to say like, well, because you had a personal experience with this, then I have to feel the same way you feel about it. And I'm saying like my commentary is not going against what you're saying. I'm just adding a caveat to what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, this man did XYZ, but damn, what about so and so and so and so?
I agree.
So I'm not different. I'm not different. We don't have difference of opinion.
But I agree with you. I agree with you. But you have to
agreeing with you. If I'm agreeing with you, and then you telling me you don't like the way I'm agreeing with you,
but that ain't how I came across though. And that's the other piece.
It's okay.
You also have to be mindful about the tone and the context that it comes across.
That's okay. That's okay. And that's what I'm saying. Like being super PC, bro. Being that PC where I'm worried about.
Well, that's not being PC though.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm walking on eggshells to speak, you know what I'm saying, then because what I'm saying is the pattern of speech and the way that we relate to things and the way that we put things together is going to change and mature over time. So there's things that they say that people are going to say today that until like 10 years ago, Eminem could say faggot on every song. Now he better not say that. He better not ever. You know what I'm saying? Like our vocal, our wordsmithness, it matures. So telling me, well, I gotta be mindful of this. I'm like, well, look, I'm not talking down nobody. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not cussing nobody. I'm just saying this is the way I feel about something. And when you're saying the tone, like, man, that tone gonna be changing.
But in that, that's I call cap on that because in that context, you totally dismissed what she was saying.
No, I said I know this man XYZ, but we it's simply so it's why is there so much attention on this man when we have it? Like I told her the other day, I was like, man, this dude got a worldwide network of kids that he's this man been dead what 2 years, and they still picking out people in high ranking officials around the world that had in the United States and everywhere that got ties to these kids. They had sex slaves.
You are correct. You're 100% correct.
And you telling me that that's a less salacious story than this old black man who was giving girls pills?
No, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm also saying is you tell me how many black people know who Epstein is or knew about what was going on.
If I wanted to argue, I'd be like, it sounds like you're saying black people don't understand, don't what you call it, but I don't want to argue.
No, some of it is not. It's not a black or white thing, because there were not just black people. If you look at the amount of people in the world, not even the world, in the United States, who knew what Jeffrey Epstein was up to up until maybe 5 years ago, it wouldn't be a lot of people. A lot of people weren't in the know. So you're talking about a guy. Listen to what I'm saying. You're talking about a guy who was an FBI informant.
Okay, but what I'm saying,
tell me when time out. When did you know about Jeffrey Epstein?
You're making my point for me, bro.
When did you know about my point for me? Can I ask you a question?
You're making my point.
When did you know about Jeffrey Epstein?
I learned about Jeffrey Epstein around the same time that everybody else did.
And when was that?
When Matthew Bourdain died.
So that was a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
Around Pizzagate, right?
When everything blew up, yes.
Pizzagate. Pizzagate was when people finally really knew what the fuck Epstein was going through, because it was around the time all of these people mysteriously were dying around the Clintons in lawsuits. So you're talking about a guy who people just kind of heard about maybe 5 years ago versus America's dad. And to black people, America's dad was representation of what positive African American men look like.
Come on. Now,
Am I lying?
So,
Am I
yes.
telling a lie?
Yes.
Oh, so where's the lie?
So tell me what Bill Cosby was doing over the last 10 years before he got in trouble. What was he doing?
Telling jokes and playing on TV.
Wrong answer, bro. Bill Cosby was going to the HBCUs, getting on TV and telling kids how they did pull their pants or how they embarrassed
Oh, I ain't, bro.
Hold up.
That was a part of his joke. He was telling comics on Comic View not to fucking cuss. And I don't like your jokes, D.L. Hughley, because you say cuss words and all of this other shit. We know the stories about D.L. Hughley saying, well, all right, well, bet. Well, if you telling me I can't say cuss words, why you raping hoes? We know that Hannibal Buress was one of the main dudes jumping up and down on his stand-up saying, hey, man, I don't rock with Bill Cosby because Bill Cosby be raping females. What I'm saying is...
you skipping timelines, bro.
No. What I'm saying is Bill Cosby was a fixture to us. So when we see Cosby going through a scandal, it's a big deal. People knew who Cosby was. Nobody knew who Jeffrey Epstein was, bro.
No, I'm saying, but address what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're painting Bill Cosby as this picture of America's dad. And what I'm saying is
I'm sorry. Finish. Go ahead.
Let me finish. For the last 10, before any of this stuff with the women, Bill Cosby was on a tirade getting to it. Like Bill Cosby was almost to the point where young millennials was like, Bill Cosby tripping, man. Bill Cosby was going around talking about how the young generation wasn't good enough. And that's why he was getting to it with D.L. Hughley. That's why he was getting for everybody. Before any of this rape stuff came out, they was like, man, Bill Cosby, you all you do is talk down about the new generation. So it wasn't like he was up in good stand. That what made it so ironic.
It's not about good standards. When he telling our community what we need to do to better it.
Well, in a sense, but he was also doing a lot of finger pointing.
But ain't that? But he was though. Like
okay,
you do that now. We both do that now.
And what I'm saying is the conversation about Bill Cosby was like, Bill Cosby, you supposed to be one of our forefathers, and all you have is negativity for us. That was Bill Cosby, and that's why it was super ironic that Bill Cosby, you out here trying to preach to us about how we should act, and you have a history of doing. That's why I was so. What I'm saying is really, in the essence, in some forms, it's like people were looking for the big aha on Bill Cosby over the last so and so years. They're like, man, because he's going off on the younger generation. So
the point I was trying to make was we knew who Bill Cosby was.
I can agree with that.
Bill Cosby started off as America's dad, and yes, Bill Cosby went on a whole run of telling us what's wrong with the black community and trying to fix it. And then people got upset because they was like, why you telling me I can't say nigga in my jokes? And why you telling me to pull my pants up? You out here with Larry King giving young ladies the Spanish fly, slipping them roofies and smashing them. Yes. What I'm trying and so what I'm saying is the whole point of what I'm saying is Bill Cosby was a fixture in the black community, whether you like him or not. Meanwhile,
I'm not arguing that.
Meanwhile, nobody knew who the fuck Harvey Weinstein. I mean, nobody knew who the fuck your boy was until most people ain't know who he was until he ended up dead in his cell, and then that's when all that shit came out with Epstein Island and the human trafficking and the fact that he had ties with the Abercrombie and Finch dude, the fact that he had ties in Wall Street, the fact that he was swindling universities. Nobody knew about that shit up until 3-4 years ago. Matter of fact, if you want to keep it a buck, 90%.
Keep talking.
90% of the people ain't know who the fuck he was till after they watched the Netflix doc. If you want to keep it a buck, these same people, they don't know who Ghislaine Maxwell is. I bet you them same people who didn't know who he was can't tell you who Ghislaine Maxwell is, and they can't even tell you who the dude was that just committed suicide allegedly in his jail cell 3 weeks ago. And that's all I'm saying. To them, they know who Cosby is. They don't know about them other people because it's not a part of their plight. The middle ground would be educating them about these other people, saying, hey, these are predators too. We should throw all of these predators under the bus, not just one. That's all I'm saying.
And all I'm saying is that I mean, yeah. I mean, what you're saying is true and is valid. I'm not disputing none of that. I'm just saying that, like they always say, because I don't know about something doesn't necessarily mean that that's a forgiving or forgiveness.
But that's the
Like,
middle
I-
ground. The middle ground is educating. Look, you might not know about Star Wars, right? You might not know. You might not know about Boba Fett. You
Okay.
might say, "Hey, man, Boba Fett, bitch ass nigga," and this is extreme. This is an extreme take. But you might say, "Boba Fett, a bitch ass nigga," and I might
Okay,
be
good.
like, "Nah, bro, Boba Fett fire." And then I give
Yeah.
you the history of Boba Fett. The middle ground is me giving you the history of Boba Fett, and you're like, "Oh shit, Boba Fett not a bitch ass nigga." That's the middle ground. Now, if you say Boba Fett a bitch ass nigga, and I'm like, oh nah, Boba Fett kind of fire, and you like, hey man, I don't give a fuck about what you know about Boba Fett or that nigga history. He a bitch ass nigga. You know what? You got it. Me having a conversation with you is pointless, bro. Keep your opinion. I'm a roll. Because I'm not going to get anywhere with it anyway. That's all. And I might be wrong. My opinion on that may be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know if you're oh, you're not froze.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm listening.
So I'm saying, I'm not, and like I said, 2 hours ago, I told you, I'm not saying you're wrong and I'm not saying I'm right. Literally, this conversation is a advertisement of what we're saying. Is that, bro? I can't tell you your opinion's wrong.
But
I can't say you're wrong. I cannot.
Well, okay, yeah. Like I said at the beginning, from the beginning, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that some opinions are dead wrong.
No, and I agree. I can to meet in the middle ground. I can agree with you when you say, when your opinion can be, man, that nigga's dead wrong with that bullshit he telling me, bro. I can 100% agree with that. Now, I'm pretty sure I've talked to people who've had opinions about stuff, and I'm sitting there like, man, you full of shit. That's some bullshit you just told me. You just told me some bullshit.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm not finna sit here and argue with them and say you're wrong for your opinion. You know what I'm saying? I leave those conversations to open-minded people who are willing to have the conversation. Because
let's close on this note because it has been a long time. I'm saying it is so. Who is the person to tell the person? Like, who? When do you say, "Oh man, shit"? Like how? Because if your way, if you're saying that it's about compromise, so who is the person that's supposed to go? How do you talk to the person that has that strong opinion? What do you do? How do you do? You just like let them keep going, or what? You just like, because if you walk away, then who gonna stop them? Somebody has to stop the person and be like, "Nah, man, you can't say that. You can't do that."
I think you gotta feel the situation out. So
I'm asking you who gonna do it, because you're not gonna do it. That's not a knock on you. I'm just saying you said if they have a one way to track of mind, then you walking away. So then when I say I'm gonna tell them off the top, you're like, well, that's their personal experience. So I think if you want me to respect your position to say that you're gonna walk away, then you have to definitely 100% respect mine. And I say, no, I'm gonna talk to that person.
Well, no, I didn't disrespect your opinion at all. So the other
I didn't say you did. I'm just saying.
No, and I'm saying, and I respect your opinion. And what I'm saying is a piece of that is if you have let's say if you have an opinion, I'm not gonna listen to your opinion and not say shit and just be like, this nigga crazy. Like, I'll listen to your opinion and I'll start dialogue. Now, you're gonna find out. No, this is what I'm saying. You're gonna find out in the first couple of seconds if the dialogue is going to go somewhere. Like when I'm pretty sure when you start dialogue with somebody, Boog, you know who you're talking to. You know if you're talking to somebody who is you know if you're talking to somebody who is reasonable and y'all can have back and forth dialogue.
In 2 seconds?
I didn't say 2 seconds, Boog.
How long you say?
Boog, I said start dialogue. I didn't put a time limit on it.
You literally said time. You said a couple of seconds or something like that.
Okay, Boog. All right, Boog.
You said
are
time.
Are you being literal?
No, I'm just. Are you saying like?
I'm not. Like, I'm literally not putting time constraints on.
Okay, sorry.
So my bad if I said a couple of seconds. But what I mean is, if I start a conversation with somebody I'm gonna know quickly or sooner than later. I'm not gonna know an hour in I'm not getting anywhere with someone. I'm gonna know once I start talking to someone, the mindset of the person, if they're a reasonable person, if they'll listen to reason, any of that. If I'm talking to someone and I know, you know what, man, it's not gonna work, then cool, you got your opinion. And I'm gonna walk. If I'm talking to someone who is open-minded, open to reason, open to compromise, then we can talk about it. That's all I'm saying. If I see where the conversation is going nowhere, I'm not gonna. I'm a cool. You got it, bro. You are the only person I will argue with for hours,
Well, I'm saying,
and it's only because I know you are a reasonable person. You are a compromisable person. You are an intelligent person, and I know I can meet in the middle ground with you. You like to debate, I know that, but I also know that we can meet in the middle ground on all situations and conversations. I know that.
There are some situations where we're not going to come to the middle ground, and some are. What I'm saying is like, what I'm saying is this.
But you know what that middle ground is, though? That middle ground is to agree to disagree.
Oh, I guess. I just, I guess. I mean, I see. Like I said, it's so many different ways we can go with the conversation. But like I said, who is the person who, like, there has to be people who are going to go talk to the person who is hard-headed, or the person who is one-sided, or there has to be, if people don't do that, then what do those people turn, like, if I have an ignorant or an uneducated or if I'm thinking one way, and every time I talk to somebody, they turn their back, and then I turn around like, how did?
But it's not turning your back though. And eventually, if you are the person who is unreasonable, sooner or later you're gonna realize, like, I can't get anywhere with anyone with my opinion because I can't talk to anyone because I'm not.
What you mean?
Because I'm not being open minded enough. Like, but you also have to realize if you're the person who's not being open minded enough.
What I'm saying is that normally what happens is they find like-minded people who are ignorant or, non, whatever they are. They find people who are the same like them, and then they because people who they were the same with somebody else, and then people form situations where they all get together and do the same dumb shit or the same ignorant stuff, or like the KKK, or
look.
If you talk,
I'm gonna find people who are like-minded and love Star Wars. You might not love it. It might be the dumbest thing to you. But I'm going to find people who are like-minded and love it. That's just life. That's just people.
Yeah. But it sounds one way when you say Star Wars. When you start saying,
it sounds another way when I say the Nation of Islam, right? I'm gonna find like-minded individuals who believe in those principles, right?
Yeah, but when
it's gonna sound another way when I say Southern Baptist. It's gonna sound another way when I say KKK.
That's what I'm saying.
You're always gonna find someone to agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. But what I'm saying is that, so who is the person that goes to KKK and be like, man, you know what? This whole thing y'all going, this thing ain't right, man. This part that y'all say y'all have to do this part, that ain't right. Y'all can't do that. Y'all shouldn't do that. Y'all opinion on this right here is wrong. Who goes in there and does that? I'm asking you.
Oh, someone who wants to make a change, who wants to make a difference. And for that change to happen is going to take a member of the KKK to be open-minded enough to be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, that bullshit that we believed in, yeah, that shit don't apply today. Matter of fact, that's some bullshit. We can keep some of these values we believe in, but this portion right here, we shouldn't be doing this. Or we shouldn't be doing that. Like, it takes both parties. Look, you can be 100% right about everything that you're saying, and you're talking to somebody, and if they don't want to listen, they ain't going to listen. And no matter what you say, you ain't going to change their mind. They have to also be willing to do the work. And that's all. You know what I'm saying? So if one person who is a part of that organization ain't willing to listen, I ain't going to waste my breath. I'll find someone in that organization who's willing to listen and talk. And it may take a couple of people on your side to meet with a couple of people on their side to make change. It ain't gonna happen with one or two conversations.
I'll make sure that I post all 4 parts of this. Make sure that's what I'm gonna do. I just thought about that. I'm gonna break this up into 4 parts and post all 4. That's what I got from that conversation.
Okay. What you got next?
I ain't got nothing next, man. It's time to go to bed. I got to do work.
It's been another episode of the 16 Shots Podcast with Young James Boogie and AR Dub.
Tell me how you took it. I'm going to tell you what I meant.
It's almost 4 o'clock, bro. You got
That's
me up
funny.
late.
That's funny how he just said, well, anyway, yeah.
It's funny how I just said what, Bug? What I just said.
That's funny how Pimp C just said.
Tell me how you took it. I'm going to tell you what I meant.
You know what that means?
Exactly. Yeah, I know what it means.
Don't tell me my opinion is wrong.
That's what is that how you took it?
Well, actually, I pulled that clip from when he was talking about Atlanta. And then he called into the Atlanta radio station. And they took what he said out of context. And so he said,
tell me how you took it. I'm going to tell you what I meant.
And then they told him how they took it. And he explained to them what he meant. And they came to a common ground, a middle ground, where him and rappers in Atlanta could coexist. So it's bigger meaning to the sound clip, not just.
Tell me how you took it. I'm going to tell you what I meant.
But if no one has ever listened to the full interview, then you wouldn't understand and you would take it out of context. But I know you've listened to the full interview.
I'm just going to say, yeah.
So you haven't listened to the full interview.
Come on, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So you already know the context.
No, but I'm saying he actually was saying to an extent, he was like, you tell me, he was basically saying, in order for us to get to a common ground, in order for us to understand each other, I'm going to say how I meant it. Like, you might have heard it in this tone, but this is what I meant.
Did they not come to common ground?
Yeah, but
and they came to common ground over the airways because it was two parties who were open-minded enough to listen to each other and to find a middle ground solution.
I guess. Okay.
Tell me how you took it. I'm going to tell you what I meant.
Wise words from the pimp, R.I.P. Pimp C. I just be saying anything on here, though. According to you.
Sometimes.
According to you. I just be saying anything on there.
Sometimes.
According to you.
At some point, hopefully when you listen back to this, at some point, you're going to see that there was a turn.
There was never a turn because 2 hours and 30 minutes ago, the stance I took is the same stance I took now.
There was a turn when
there was never a turn, my brother. There was only a turn because you wanted it to be a turn.
No. I said that the personal experience, and then and you were like, man, no. And then you came around and said, well, that's in the past, and no. But
it's not what I said.
Well,
I've never changed my stance saying that I'm never going to tell someone that their opinion is wrong.
Okay. In actuality, which is unique, is that you're saying that it could be a common ground, but then you're saying in the same breath as it could be a common ground that you're not going to change your stance on whether your opinion, like you're sticking with your opinion.
That's not what I said. That is not what I said.
You just said we talked for 2 hours.
That is not what I said.
Listen, you just said we talked for 2 hours, and you said I've never changed my stance on that. I'm never going to tell you that your opinion could be wrong, even though you said
what I just said was rebut to you saying that I switched up my stance.
No, I didn't say that. I said you agreed. I said there was a turn, and like I said, you cut me off here. I said there was a turn when you had turned the corner and said the same thing I said to you.
And what did you say to me?
When I said that the time and the 40s and the 70s, when I made that analogy, the 40s and the 70s, that because I felt this, my experience was this. It's not the same. I can't have that same stance. And then you said, well, if I've seen XYZ, I'm like, yeah, because the time that you have doesn't dictate what the time that you have and your personal opinion when you relay it to somebody in a different time frame, then they have every right to be like, "Oh no, that opinion you have, that's from then. It's now." They can't be. We can't talk like that. We can't have that opinion because that's
So in that
your
sentence,
experience. It's not today. That's 1940. That's 1920.
in that sentence, I think we talked about someone going to space, and I said that my opinion would change because of what I saw throughout the years, and so my opinion in the 80s will be different because I saw two different things happen. I saw one thing happen that I said would never happen, and so in the 80s, my opinion would be, at first I thought no one would make it to the moon, and now I saw someone make it to the moon. So you saying no one will make it to Mars, I don't know, because I thought the same thing years ago, and then I saw someone go to the moon. That's the context in which I said it in. And I said my personal experience would have allowed me to see something that I thought was one thing happen, and now I have a broader scope of a personal experience. That's what I said.
Okay, that's how you want to frame it.
But that's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
If that's how you, if that's how you want to frame it.
But it's not me framing anything. That's literally what I said. I'm not trying to frame it anyway. Like, that's what I said. Is that not what I said?
Nah,
That's not what I said.
that's not the top. That's not the context.
I literally said that. Like, we literally talked about in the 20s, I said no one could go to space. And then in the 70s, I saw someone go to space. So in the 80s, my opinion was to the person who said it might not be mathematically possible for us to make it to Mars, well, shit. In the 20s, I didn't think anybody could make it to the moon. And then in the 70s, someone made it to the moon. So maybe, young man, they can figure it out and send somebody to Mars. Because I had the same opinion you had in the 20s, and I saw a man go to the moon. Literally, that's what I said. Damn near word for word, minus a couple of things. And when I say a couple of things, probably like some ands and these and thises.
Well, what we can do is, we can take our time and listen to it on our own. The listeners can listen and they can form their opinion.
All right, man, and we out.
You know, I'm talking about instruments to get the bitches, man.